Hello, everybody. We're here with another regular installment. We're doing daily shows at this point of the Apex Coalition show. I'm joined here at the moment by Mr. Lippy and Mr. Waters. I think we've got a guest appearance of Curran coming up, but he's allegedly still scared. So um, it's the end of week 4, gentlemen, and Lippy. There's been lots of movement by you both in redraft and in dynasty. Anything you want to get off your chest right off the bat, Lippy? People have
I
been
got
talking about
CMC
this.
in redraft, and I'm very happy to have CMC.
Okay, okay. I mean, hey, who would it be, right? Who would it be? Let's see here.
I don't think Andy's too happy with me in the Fuckfest League, though.
Well, this is the this is the perfect time to find that out. We can jump into that next. Let's go recent activity and let's pull up trades. Now, let's see here. What's
Can we see what you're showing us?
Yeah, let me get my share screen up, and I'm trying to get to the first trades of the actual season. Did we do that Alec Pierce trade on the last pod?
Wow. Great trade, sir.
Great trade. Okay, so we'll start around here. Um, trading my boy Moody away for 2/3. R.I.P. May he.
I mean, that's aging beautifully.
Yeah, poor fella. I don't I don't really see to the cards for Mr. Moody, um, but I mean, would you have asked for more for Moody?
No, it seems like a sensational trade at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. I can't wait for the year 8 breakout of Moody that will really make this just a real sour tart. So then, this is a trade that Jack hated. Could not. He just said, "Oh my God, A&F, how silly." I traded 4/3 for a second. Um, which I thought was great because I have so many picks. I thought this was just a no-brainer, but it's also not exciting at all. Here's when we get exciting. This is when things get
Wow.
interesting. Now, Lippy, this is a trade between, and who better to talk about it than you and I with Andy right here. You acquire Chris Olave. You trade away your 2024 first, your 2026 first, your 2025 third, and your 2026 third. Now, big Olave believer myself, I would go ahead and assume that you're among that number as well because you've traded for him as well at this point. But there were people who had some things to say about this trade. There were people that did not enjoy the optics of this trade. And I'm told that people said disparaging things to you about this trade, Lippy. Things that I never said. And what I'm wondering is why. Chris Olave, I think, could very well be, if not is cemented to be. I would actually be interested to look at that to see where he is in Dynasty startup rankings. Um, let's see here. Let's take a guess.
Wide receiver, wide receiver 9 or 10, I think, off the board.
In startups?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's a no-brainer. He's the future of the franchise.
I agree. I think I thought it was a no-brainer as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's that easy. Um,
At the end of the day, though, sir, when you look at where my team is, which obviously the record doesn't look great, but this league has the rookie draft by points, max PF.
mhm.
My pick's probably the 107, 108, and if we were at the draft next year, would I give up that pick? Let's say the 107 plus my first in 2 years after that.
Yeah.
for Chris Olave, and I probably would at the end of the season. So why not do it now?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Um,
Hi, Andy. What do you got for us?
Nothing. And no candy for you.
Yeah, Olave's a wide receiver 9 off the board.
See,
20.6 in ADP.
look at that. He's gone from 10 to 9 to the time we've recorded this podcast.
So would I trade? Oh, that's not Superflex. That's just. Oh, that is Superflex. Oh no, it's not. That's just one QB.
Okay.
So maybe a little deeper in one QB for overall.
Well, so now we get to the next trade that happened. And that was I trade you what is pretty much undeniably the 101 next year
Caleb Williams, yeah.
for CJ Stroud straight. Now, this, I'm told, was the trade that got you a whole lot of noise and hoopla. It's been, let's see, just about a week since it happened. What are your thoughts now? You've had a week to digest.
Pretty happy with it. I mean, Stroud's probably really good though. But Caleb Williams is pretty awesome. So
He's going to be
Caleb Williams
awesome
for Stroud.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, so why not? They're both awesome. Why not trade two awesome quarterbacks for each other?
Lippy, I couldn't have said it any better myself. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
I mean, Caleb Williams, that's an awesome quarterback. Why not have him on my squad forever?
I would completely agree. Now, the last trade we made in a series of 3, which is just wonderful that they happened back to back to back. I think it would have just like the sheer amount of things that happened if we had included them all in one trade would have been hilarious. But,
That would have been chaotic to break down.
I acquire your 2025 first, your last remaining first, I believe, for Brian Robinson and Luke Musgrave. You've been sitting on this trade a while. How do you feel about it?
I feel like it's pretty happy with it. I like what I've seen from Musgrave so far. And Brian Robinson, they just trust to give him the rock. You'd like to think they're probably not replacing him next year at least.
Why would
and you get a first. I mean, I think it's just a pretty nice trade.
And we have no voice of dissent, which means
I
everyone
think
else thinks it's a nice trade
it took us
too.
how long to accept this trade? I think it was just a sentence and accept. We didn't even talk about it.
It was just like 45 seconds. You're like, I want Musgrave, and I just sent this to you.
I think it said I have one more first. What do you got for us, Andy?
We're done.
Lippy, I don't understand you. I don't pretend to have aspirations of ever understanding you. There is nothing about this series of trades that can be construed as a benefit to anyone but ANF. The Stroud trade makes absolutely no sense, no matter how you spin it. First of all, that pick is not capital N, capital O, capital T, guaranteed to be Caleb. Second of all, Caleb could get hurt. Third of all, Stroud could be better than Caleb. In fact, I think the odds are now probably in favor of Stroud being better than Caleb at the pro level. Simply because we don't know where Caleb's going to end up, and no quarterback is immune to the despair of the situation around them, as Trevor has shown us over the past few years. He was a generational quarterback prospect, and people were selling their souls to get in position for the 1.01 that year, and it just hasn't worked. I mean, I'm not feeling bad if I have Trevor's contract in Dynasty, but I'm definitely not winning titles. And 3 years in, you'd expect to be there with a 1.01 generational quarterback at the helm of your franchise. So I question the wisdom of a dollars for dollars, 1-for-1 trade of Stroud for this pick. And I question just just everything. Just where's the
So let's go to the next trade and look at like the next trade is Stroud and JSN for everybody I got in that trade.
Wait, which okay, so this is tying it all together, right? The
Let's go
trade
up.
with Jack. Okay, so the final the coda of the Lippy trade was it the same day? No, it was a few days later. It was Lippy acquires Jared Goff, Christian Kirk, Jonathan Taylor, Pat Fryermuth, Romeo Dobbs. He sends away what is believed to be by 101 for the upcoming year, and Jackson Smith Najigba to Jack. Now, Mr. Waters, does that tie it all together for you?
Probably hates that too.
I hate this so much more. Jack, where you at? I mean, Lippy, I'd love for you to just explain. I mean, just explain like what possibly makes this worth it for you.
I mean, got a quarterback, got JT, top 3-4 dynasty running back. Got Kirk, like Kirk.
I don't
got
think.
Pat.
Wait. Hang on.
You don't
I'm
think
sorry to
JT's
interrupt
top
because I
4?
just asked you to explain. Dynasty?
Yeah,
No chance.
You don't think he's still top 4?
Absolutely not. He's not top 14.
You wouldn't have JT as a top 14
top
dynasty running back.
14?
No. He's almost 25. The end is nigh. He's almost done with his rookie contract. It's over, dude. It's over.
Wow.
You can name 13 more running backs you'd have over him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Let's try 7 to start.
7?
7. Let's start with 7.
So Bijan and 6 more.
Yeah, I mean, throw names out there. I'll give you yes,
right.
no. I can't think of them off the top of my
Gibbs.
head. Christian McCaffrey is the obvious one. Gibbs, I'm taking in a heartbeat over JT. Heartbeat.
Ken Walker.
Heartbeat.
Brees
Hall. Oh, Brees.
Heartbeat.
Pollard.
Heartbeat.
A 27-year-old. How old's Pollard now? 26? 25?
No, dude. He's like 25.
Yeah.
So he's older than JT.
Pollard's kind of got that Henry workload, too. Like, did get used much.
Pollard's 26, so he's 2 years older than JT?
And I bet you JT has 400 more carries than he does.
Okay, ETN?
If not more.
Way over JT.
Wait, what about ETN, sir?
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm taking ETN.
Okay, HN?
No. No.
Saquon.
Get out of here. That was sneaky, but no. Saquon, yeah.
I'm just reading Keep Trade Cut right now. Eckler?
Yeah.
Jacobs?
Yeah.
Swift?
Look. Yes. Swift.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'll keep going as long as you keep rattling them off. I mean, he's on the pup still, right? Have they even activated him?
He's practiced today, or he's practicing tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he's going to practice tomorrow.
I mean, the reports that have come out have just been so directly contradictory. I mean, literally Saturday was that he still doesn't want to play for the Colts, and the Colts aren't going to pay him, and he wants to go somewhere he's going to get paid. And then yesterday, it was something about like the 24-year-old is stoked to get back out on the field and wants to resume playing as soon as possible or whatever. It just doesn't feel like people are clearly leaking directly contradictory things. Like, this feels like a contentious situation. I don't know anyone who is in the middle of a contract dispute with their employer and is like, I'm going to go get myself thwacked by 300-pound men for 28 to 30 times a week, all in their name, while they're refusing to give me what I think I'm worth. I don't think it's there this year for JT, if not only for the contract dispute, but also for the ankle injury, the nagging,
But we're talking dynasty
rehab.
sir.
So we're saying next.
okay. So I'm saying this year's a wash. So you all of a sudden in 3 months, you're going to be saddled with the contract of a 25, approaching 26-year-old running back who's got buku touches on his frame and just had a lost season. I mean, there is a very
He turns 25 after the season, by the way. So next season will be his
like
28th.
January or something.
Still counts.
No, I'm asking when does he turn 25?
January 17th.
Yeah, so I mean, technically that's still in the season because it'll be in the playoffs. I mean, I'm just saying, like in the off season, like he'll be 25, and you'll be flirting with that like fringe 26, 27-year-old. Like I'm not suggesting he's old by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying, in terms of like, if you were to have JT's contract, you're not getting a haul for him next year. In my estimation, I don't think he's about to light things up this year. Not only that, not only the injury, not only the contract situation, like, A, he might not be on the Colts next year.
Well, that's what I was going to
Right?
ask.
Like, that's pretty big, isn't it? And B, even if he is on the Colts, Anthony Richardson is the clear goal line option there. I mean, like, has no one thought about that yet? Like, JT is only going to be scoring from outside the green zone. Like, he will be lucky to crack 6 touchdowns while Anthony Richardson is there.
Well,
Anthony Richardson's run for 4 touchdowns in 3 games
He's
on
going
an
to make
immediate
lovely,
offense.
just lovely clips at some points.
I mean,
if he's ever on the Colts again.
Yeah, I mean, Richardson's, first of all, a big apology to Mr. Waters. Let's just get that out of the way now. I thought that was the dumbest thing I had heard on this show, and I've said a lot dumber stuff. But he is so good. He is so good. But where do y'all think JT ends up? Do you think? I mean, Lippy, with making this trade, you're probably the most important person to ask. Do you think he stays with the Colts, or do you think he's headed elsewhere on a different deal? What are your thoughts?
I could care less, honestly.
Does it matter? Yeah.
I have Moss. I got Moss for the rest of the year, and now I get JT. If he's on another team, I might have 2 running backs now that can start every week.
Oh my
And I think
goodness.
JT's the top option once he's playing somewhere the second he comes back.
We're joined
Just like Cup is this.
Yeah, we've got Captain Asshole in the call. Curn, we're talking about Jonathan Taylor right now. Where, because you have not been in the call, where would you place him in terms of he's a top blank running back in Dynasty?
Dynasty?
Yes.
He was drafted. He was 2020, right? So
we've just gone over this. He's 24. He turns 25 January 17th, I believe, of this upcoming year.
And so he's still in the rookie contract.
Still in the rookie contract. Still 24.
Yeah, I mean he's probably like in the same area of like Nick Chubb before he got hurt this year.
So
I would say.
Let's just get it on the record. You think he's a top X number in Dynasty for running back?
I mean, running back in Dynasty is it's a little better this year.
Curn, who are you taking, JT or ETN? Who are you taking, JT or ETN, moving forward in Dynasty?
ETN.
Swift.
Because he's hooked up to the.
What about Swift?
Swift or JT?
I'm probably fading both those picks and taking whatever wide receivers there. But if I had to pick, I get probably JT there.
Okay.
I think.
Can y'all pull the rankings and kind of approximate, triangulate his?
I'm gonna pull that up.
I would guess.
What did he say?
Curn, I would guess you just pegged him for somewhere between running back 13 and 17 in Dynasty.
Well, Swift's at 13 in the rankings.
Whoa.
Depending on what you're looking at.
So you got Bijan. I guess he's still like the RB2 or like. I mean, until further notice.
Right now, it's Bijan, CMC, Gibbs, Ken Walker, Brees, Pollard, ETN, JT.
Oh, I would take ETN and JT over Pollard. Easy. I don't think Pollard is going to be. I mean,
You are a known Pollard hater. That's true.
I mean, I'm just a more ETN JT lover, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so you'd have JT at RB8, about RB7, RB8.
Yeah.
Unless you take.
He still got it.
What about Jacobs? Would you take Jacobs over him?
No, I'd take JT over Jacobs.
Yeah, so you're. Oh, well, then I got to ask the last one, HN.
Ooh, aches and pains. I don't know. I'm probably just like, there's no way this fucking asshole averages 10 yards a carry with 5 running backs back there. I'm gonna kind of just let that kind of just fucking triangulate. I'm gonna fade that. So probably take JT over all that.
Well,
you taking JT over Derek?
Derrick Henry, yes.
Yeah.
That'd take a lot of running backs over Derrick Henry.
I'm taking JT over every running back that's above the age of like 26, probably.
Interesting.
Except for CMC. Probably CMC, and yeah, I guess if I was like in a win now, maybe I'd take Eckler for like the 1 year. No, but JT's fucking awesome, dude. I think he's gonna be fine. I don't think he's gonna he's a known stud, you know. I think he's gonna look. His upside's gonna be capped when he gets traded to the Ravens, you know, next week.
That's what I was going to ask, Curn. Do you think he stays on the Colts, or does it matter where he lands for fantasy value? I think it almost has to, but you know, on the grand scheme of things, are you worried about that in terms of his value?
In like a dynasty startup draft, I wouldn't think too high about it. I mean, if he goes to like the Patriots or somewhere foul like that, you know, like we're like
Baltimore would just be splendid.
Baltimore was really splendid, but Lamar loves to. I mean, like he goes to like Baltimore if he stays in, you know, Indianapolis, like anywhere where there's a rushing quarterback who can just like take away all the gravy. That's never fun. But I'm not putting too much emphasis. He's a pretty damn good talent.
Well,
but he's not happy right now. Apparently, because I got to think about it for my implications. And apparently, he still doesn't want to play. And he's still real bitter and still like not too thrilled about not being paid. So
yeah, we were just discussing that they don't appear to be getting along very well in Indianapolis. It appears there might be some rather unfortunate feelings that are still in the air. But yeah, Curn, we were just breaking down the trades in Fuckfest. Mr. Waters was trying to find clarity on some of Lippy's thought process for some of the trades he's made there. I think Lippy made a key point that I'd like just to elaborate on, not on his behalf, but kind of the thought process that I think is very straightforward based on how Fuckfest does draft picks. He was really in a damned if he does, damned if he doesn't situation. You know, what were you, Lippy, at this point? You were 0-6 or something?
0-6 and first in max PF.
Yeah. Meaning that he would have the first, like, non-playoff pick, putting him at the 1-9, or the 1-8.
Well, here's the thing. Not to cut you off, but here's the thing about here's how I digest Fuckfest. And I think if you're not in the pain chamber of the Apex Coalition, where I mean, I think I speak for you and Lippy A&F, where like that pretty much dominates my peripherals the entire fucking weeks of all weeks going forward for everything. So I sort of use Fuckfest and these other fun dynasty leagues to kind of just like, you know, it's like playing like a racquetball court where I'm just like beating shit against the wall and letting out some stress. And I think a lot of these trades are just really fun. And I think like, you know, tempting's fun and like obsessing over like, you know, Marvin Harrison and Caleb Williams is fun. And like I'm tempted to kind of tear it down, you know, a little bit.
Curn, that's because your Fuckfest team is terrible. Like, you have no picks, your players are ass, your team is so bad.
I just dropped 190. Hey,
yeah,
look.
Curn, any given Sunday, yeah, it's great job. Your team's so
good. Curn, I'd like to point out, Curn, you get to face aches and pains in both Fuckfest and Apex this week. It's going to be lovely for you.
That's just great. That's just wonderful. We love that. Hey, Waters, let me get your opinion on this. How much is it worth it to get CMC? Like, have you thought about that? Like,
we haven't got there yet. But
I don't think he knows the trade, honestly.
Like 5 minutes, but just I'm gonna tune in later when that conversation comes up because there was a big trade where Lippy got in our main league, and it's I think I'm the only one who's really like scratching his head really hard, saying, "Wow, that was just railroading effort on all parts." But maybe I'm just an asshole, which, as we all know, certainly can be true. So
Yeah. So to move over to that trade real quick, Lippy traded away. He
Lovely trade.
he acquired this, and this is half point redraft. He traded away Debo Samuel, Tua, T. Higgins, Rashad White, and Sean Tucker, and acquires Christian McCaffrey.
Holy shit!
It's a lot of shit.
I mean,
Keep in mind, I have Anthony Richardson, sir, as my backup.
No, I'm not. I don't think it's. I don't think it's
wait.
bad. I
Wait,
think it's
which
a lot.
side?
we have Anthony Richardson, so he's all right at quarterback. So don't worry about that. No risk for Lippy. Just so y'all can sleep easy on that.
Lippy acquired. Lippy acquired CMC.
So wait, hold on. Here's my question:
Okay.
How many of people did how many of those players did the acquiring team actually keep?
All of them. His team was dog shit.
He was starting Josh Reynolds.
It was dog shit, and now it's dog shit covered in more smaller turds of dog shit.
Mr. Kahoot, he's keeping all of them. He's actually starting every single player.
He's starting everyone but Sean Tucker. Yeah.
Yes.
Every player is being started that he acquired except for Sean Tucker.
How the fuck did Sean Tucker work his way into that goddamn deal?
He actually insisted upon it. He insisted upon it.
That was the hard line.
It's like a salary cap league or some shit where you had to throw in a little.
That's cash considerations.
Jesus
His
Christ.
elite RB2 Rashad Gigachad goes down. Don't worry, he's got Sean Tucker just ready to take over 8% cap.
Oh, I forgot Rashad was a centerpiece. Okay,
Right.
that makes more sense.
Right, yeah. Debo, Tua, T. Higgins, Rashad White, and Sean Tucker.
Was this after the T. Higgins
It
was Sunday night.
Yeah.
It was at like 9 p.m. on Sunday.
I mean, it's not a lot, but it's not terrible. I mean, I've seen worse trades.
For a team,
I'm with you, Briard.
For a team that's 1-3, has no pieces other than CMC. Basically, that team had CMC and Kelsey. That's it.
He started DJ Chark, Romeo Dobbs, and Josh Reynolds at receiver this week.
Yeah. I mean, it's a play on Tua. In my mind, it's a play on Tua.
Oh, he also has Dak at quarterback.
Then I don't know.
Good play on Tua.
Is it a fucking 2 QB league? Just 1 QB.
1 QB.
Well,
1 QB.
Then I'm out. If he's already got Dak, then I don't get it.
He's got Dak and Deshaun Watson.
Okay, immediately out. I rescind what I said before.
He's
immediately
rostered
out.
all three in a 1 QB league.
Yeah, in a 1 QB league, if you already have a QB
okay
that doesn't have any value.
I'm still okay with it.
I thought it made sense. That's why I offered it to him.
If there's
those first 2 or 3 weeks or whatever of Tua, Briard, come on, that's upside the Dak can't.
I mean, in a 1 QB league, Debo is now the centerpiece of the trade. So you're trading like McCaffrey for his backup.
Wait, no, 1 QB 2 is the centerpiece of the trade.
1 QB 2 is a pretty big piece of that trade, especially in 6 point. If he keeps it up, he's top 5 quarterback. That's huge.
I think he was kind of a fraud and a bum, and I think
I agree.
Like I think
he was the MVP favorite.
So I saw a great stat today, which was it was meant as a stat to shit talk. I forget which quarterback it was trying to trash, like one of the bad ones, maybe Danny Dimes or somebody like that. But it was like it was a graph going out, basically talking about quarterbacks who are throwing to their first read and how successful they are on throwing to their first read. And Tua in that graph is throwing to his first read on 75% of the snaps, but is like a crazy EPA on them because everyone's just running around wide open. Like the first read is
always
completely open.
Yeah.
Which, again, I'm not saying I'm a Tua owner in multiple leagues. I'm not shitting on I love a piece of this Dolphins offense, but that to me is at least a little worrisome that it's like all of this is because the first read is schemed wide open. At some point, you have to imagine, just like last year, that some defensive coordinator is going to figure out a way to, if not stop it, just slow it
second
down.
Briard. What defensive coordinator figured out that the secret to Tua's success was not getting concussed?
No, even with Tua in last year, like the Dolphins' offense really did flip at the second half of last year.
Yeah, I agree. After he got concussed multiple times and could barely stand up straight. What are we talking about here?
I mean,
His poor fingers.
No.
Look, all I'm saying is, if you had to fucking pick your choice, I'd rather, I would still rather go into my lineup starting Romeo Dobbs, Jalen Waddle, and CMC instead of forcing out whatever third asshole he had, so I can fit in overhyped Deebo Samuel while Ayuk is healthy and maybe a dead T Higgins.
yeah.
And Rashad fucking
Curn Higgins might play this week. It's just a pain tolerance thing for him.
The way I see it is Hunter didn't have a choice. He's 1-3. His team was terrible. It's never going to be good to get rid of CMC. Could he have gotten more? Possibly, but I think he's fucked, and in a fucked vacuum, he had to make this deal.
Not really. Not really. He didn't have to make this deal at all. Not fucking really. You don't have to trade CMC. I won with basically the same team I came 3 years ago. All of y'all gave me shit. I had CMC, and I was starting fucking Martavis Bryant and shit. He has the potential to score 50 points a week.
Curn, this is just made better by you sounding like someone calling into a local radio station.
Kev's abject hatred of this trade does make it a lot better in my mind, if I'm being honest. I think this is just another example of rewarding Lippy for his constant working of the trade market.
So we're getting to another trade right after this, which is absolutely lovely that I acquired CMC and was able to do this.
Yeah,
Lippy, I demand to know the total number of trades in the queue before I continue to fucking lick your nutsack for the next 4 hours.
There really haven't been a lot of trades this year yet. We're all pretty gun shy, but Lippy's triggered a couple, so they're starting to.
I mean, CMC and Bijan getting traded within a couple of days of each other. That'll get you going.
So this is the
wait. Speaking of, sorry to interrupt. Speaking of people who are desperate for a move, I'm looking at the league transaction standings over here on the left. And what the fuck's up with your team?
Wait, look, man. I don't have the 101 anymore. I'm picking up players. Maybe they'll be juicy and I can trade them away for a third. I've got some beautiful pieces added. Let's see. Who have I picked up recently? I've got more people. Yeah, Xavier Gibson. Is that his name? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big guy on fucking Hard Knocks. He's going to be a real stunner. There's lots of really good pieces that are being added to the squad. Was
that your Fuckfest team that I was seeing sucked?
No. This over here is what's
this is redraft.
What team is it that's 0-4 in your redraft league?
That's me. I'm such a sad soldier in this league. I lost Chubb. I drafted Burrow and Chase.
You faced over 500 points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got the most PA against me. It's so sad. It's just such a bummer. I did make a trade today. It's very, very soft and vanilla. It's nothing spicy. It was Devontae Smith. I sent away Devontae Smith, my love, for James Cook and Jameson Williams. So that was a trade that I just made.
So that's a better version of the trade I think we were just looking at, where you're trying to trade your dollar to get, just some pieces and fill out a roster versus, for CMC, you really want to get back another prize piece.
Right.
Like AJ Brown and HM.
Nice chocolate cake for a few, pedophores instead of selling the fucking Rolls Royce for, 3 turds and a broken turd,
Yeah. So this is the trade that Lippy just did right before I made that trade for James Cook and Jameson Williams. He traded away Bijan and George Pickens and acquired A.J. Brown and A-Chain from Bevo. And this is that's for redraft. So it was.
And you have to keep in mind, I can keep Achan for $4 out of 200 next year as well, if I want
It's
to.
AJ Brown, Achane for George Pickens and Bijan. I really think everyone walked away from this trade happy. I think everyone's happy here.
I mean, I love it as a play on A-Chain. It's spicy. It's very lippy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like having AJ Brown there. It's nice stuff. Achan's real nice to have too. He'll probably be moved very soon. He's on the market. We're marking him as the best keeper there ever will be, and because he is.
That's actually Nico Collins for $2, but that's another issue.
It's actually Puka Nakua for $1.
Wow.
Let's see some.
Well, there's the AJ Dillon for Ingram.
I want to get the thoughts of this crew. I love having. It's one of my favorite things about doing these podcasts is getting all y'all's absurd thoughts on things. What is the Nakua like? What do people believe in Nakua?
Goat, multiple firsts in Dynasty minimum. Goat.
He's like.
It's going to be interesting what happens here with Cup back. I mean,
yeah, that's my question. Like when Cup comes back, does he continue to see 20 targets a game?
no, but I feel like we'd be hard pressed to say he's going to get less than like 5. I feel like he's established himself as a 7-target, 6-target guy a game at least.
I think he's like better Robert Woods.
Well, yeah, because that's you
like
think
that.
you think about McVay and you think about Goff was able to sustain Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, and Cooper Kupp. I think Stafford could do that too if McVay is interested in making it happen with just Puka and Cooper Kupp.
That shitty tight end got 11 targets like last week. It's like we have fucking that other stupid asshole who I forget his name getting 10 targets a game. Like I think
Tutu Atwell. He had 8 targets, 9 targets, 9 targets, and 9 targets.
Sorry, lots of words.
Yeah, I think we all think Puka's going to be okay.
You can tell that Puka owner is here in this wonderful conversation. So I'm hoping that when Kupp comes back, he goes from like wide receiver 10 to like wide receiver 25 maybe. Like that'd be cool. A wide receiver 2 would be awesome. I would love to have him as wide receiver.
Let's say you have Puka in Dynasty, and someone comes offering you a trade for him. What do you want for him?
6 firsts, probably more.
That's kind of like Purdy. Like I have Purdy in a random dynasty league, and like people keep offering me trades for him. It's like I got him for such a value in the startup. It's like how do you like I feel like for like folks like that, you just kind of hold them and just enjoy the ride.
Did you just compare fucking Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, fucking 5'4", barely can get the ball over his line ass to Puka Nakua? Puka is good. Puka is good. There's a critical difference there. Like I get that they're both values, but like Purdy is not good because he's Purdy. Purdy's good because he's Purdy in Shanahan's system.
Sure.
Puka's a star.
I don't get exclusive in the exact same though. Like if you're in a startup draft, where does Purdy go? Where does Puka go? I think I would be pressed to say Puka. I would be pressed to argue that fucking Purdy doesn't go in like the top 4 or 5 rounds of a startup. I think Puka probably goes. Superflex. I think Puka goes around like the top 6 rounds of a startup.
Oh, I think he goes round 3,
say,
if not higher.
Well, I don't know about 3, but I think he'll go a lot sooner.
I
than 6.
I honestly wish I had Puka right now so I could trade him to Andy. That's what I'm like.
You're gonna be so bricked up for owning his ass. Well, because like I'm kind of pressed about having Cooper Kupp come back. But, like I appreciate it.
Police me. Come police me. Fuck me right in the mouth. I'm up for it.
All right. On that
Take
note,
all my picks.
I have to leave to go watch Bachelor in Paradise. So,
all right. Good luck, Curd.
Y'all have fun. Peace out.
See you, buddy. Okay. So, top 3 now. Top 3 rounds in Superflex. That's a little steep, Mr. Waters. And I don't know about that. But I definitely think, because I say that without being able to put a figure on it, I think he would go top 6, but that's nowhere near as definitive. I will say you'd have to at least get a first back at this point. I think otherwise you'd be short selling. You would really.
Andy, would you rather have Puka or Zay Flowers?
Puka, what?
What? No.
Puka a million
Puka
times
is
out of a
Drake
million.
London.
No.
Puka or Drake London?
Puka.
Puka
Puka.
or
Puka, Puka,
Higgins?
Puka. Puka. Puka.
Puka or Smith?
Smith.
Puka or DK?
Puka or who?
DK
DK.
Metcalf.
Oh, Puka. Yeah,
So you have
not even a
Puka like
question.
wide receiver 12.
No, I have Smitty at like wide receiver 4. So
Sorry, Puka or AJ Brown?
AJ Brown. He's
Okay,
wide receiver 3. So
Okay, St. Brown.
St. Brown. I'd probably take Sun God.
What about Waddle, Olave, Reek?
I'd definitely take. I mean, in Dynasty, it's so dependent on your team's trajectory, right? But if you're in a startup and you're looking to be good for a long time, I would go Puka over Tyreek. But like, if you're going win now, if that's how your first 2 picks broke or your first pick broke, I have no quarrel with taking Tyreek over Puka there. But
Yeah.
who are the other 2 names?
Waddle.
Olave, Waddle.
Waddle and Olave. Yeah, that's his range. I'd say that's his range.
Wow.
I think it's tough to take him over those guys because
I'd like to
they've
sell Puka to
shown.
Andy.
Go for it, please.
Wow.
That guy, he's fucking good. There's nothing he can't do, and he's.
Wow.
I mean, the one concern for me with Puka is the longevity of Stafford and the McVay retirement stuff that always swirls.
I mean, this
every
could
offseason.
be Stafford's last year. You know.
Yeah, and it could be Stafford's last game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stafford's always really hurt.
He is. Which makes me think that he's going to play till he's like 47.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, he's doing great in those Little Caesar commercials still. So,
I think we have some other trades though, ANF, that happened this year
in Fuckfest?
in Apex.
In Apex, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's
Garrett Wilson
Before we
for
move on, I just want to remind everyone that the last name game that we played on the pod where I was openly mocked and ridiculed was AR5 QB6. So
Wow.
You're going to be eating lunch on that one for a while.
I mean, AR5 might be better than QB6 in redraft.
No, ANF. I actually am still eating off the Jalen Hurts slander that I thanklessly absorbed for years.
I will say,
no.
They're not. That offense does not look very good right now. I don't know what's going on. You're Mr. Eagles. What is going on? Who better to ask? They look like shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's football is so much of catching lightning in a bottle between staying healthy and catching everyone similarly motivated and also having a decent schedule. And I think last year the Eagles just caught that. Like, we can turn back the clock and pull up the pods from August of last year, and I was sitting here screaming about how Jalen had the easiest strength schedule and everyone is healthy and everything's clicking and blah blah blah. And like that, I just don't think that's the case this year. Like, there's just these random like Jalen had the flu before. Not the Commanders game, but the one before that or something like that. And then Kelsey, he was going to retire at the end of the year. I can't imagine that he's like got the same stamina that he did. And he's so critical to their success on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that when you play football at that high of a level for, 20 games when you go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And so much of it is physical, ground and pound. But like that just takes a toll. Not to mention the emotional aspect of losing the Super Bowl on a fucking not a bad call, but like a ticky-tack call that wasn't called throughout the rest of the game on a field where your pass rush was completely negated by the turf. Yeah, an unexpected call that completely decided the the championship. I mean, I just think that it's hard to quantify how that affects a team's preparation. I don't think it affects Jalen because he's a cyborg, but like
The team, the
Kyle
coaches, the organization, sure.
yeah, like Hulu Stonks and Beloved Rate were watching the Eagles game this Sunday afternoon, and one of them made a comment like Goddard just looks like he doesn't enjoy playing football. And I cannot vouch for the accuracy of that statement because I wasn't watching, and I actually haven't seen much Eagles football this year. But given his stat line, his totally unimpressive stat lines, and the weird, aversion to AJ Brown before this past Sunday, it does feel like something's wrong. It definitely doesn't feel like they're definitely not clicking on all cylinders like they were last year. And obviously, like my whole point is that is an impossible standard to replicate that kind of success. I mean, they literally blew teams out in 75% of their games to where Jalen only had to play like a quarter of the fourth quarters of last year. Like that's not going to happen 2 years in a row, but for them to have zagged so far in the offensive struggle direction, it'll be interesting to see how they respond. I wouldn't be surprised if we look back on this 4-game stretch as like kind of a weird aberration, and if we circle the AJ Brown explosion this past Sunday as like that was their get right. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised, but also wouldn't be surprised if they play 55% football. That was supposed to be 550 football for the rest of the year, and end up as like the 3 seed and go down in the championship game on like account of not having home field advantage. Like I don't know. There's very few outcomes that would surprise me other than them missing the playoffs.
Sure.
Anyway, that was a lot.
Any concern that the Shane Steichen brain drain is real, and that's what's propping up this Colts team
Dude, it might be, yeah. It really might be. Steichen looks legit.
No, I mean the Colts offense looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really do, which is unfortunate because the Texans are winning that division. Just FYI, everybody. Lippy, are there any of these other trades you want to parade about after the Jets' demise? Is that what you would like?
I mean, they're both absolutely sensational, and they led to me getting CMC. So we're very happy that they happened.
So Aaron Rodgers unfortunately passed away in fantasy, and later that evening, Lippy immediately
got my hopes up there.
Lippy immediately trades away Breece Hall for Rachaad White and T. Higgins. And then the next day traded away Garrett Wilson for Deebo Samuel. Trades that I think, I mean, they're going to age just fine. I will say, as a Jamar Chase owner, looking at the T. Higgins trade, that is a real nasty situation. That is, the Eagles might look bad. The Bengals are bad. I don't know what is going on there. And what on earth is happening? Why is T. Higgins playing? Why is Joe playing? I don't know why they don't just rest these guys and get them healthy. Maybe they can't because what are they 1-3? They're 1-3, right?
Yeah.
So I have no idea what's going on in Cincinnati. If anyone does, let me and Joe Burrow know because I think everyone would like to.
I think
Lippy, I was wrong about your Breece trade. I want to get that out there before you get to it.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's kind of an easy fade for Breece when you see that timeshare and know what that offense is going to be. And then, obviously, Breece never should have gone in the 3rd round.
I stand by my comment that after week 1, he would have gone for 1-2
This was after
turn.
week 1 at the end of the day.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I stand by my comment that if you had redraft that morning after the Xavier Gibson punt return,
Yeah,
I think Breece goes 2nd round, like at the latest.
I would agree.
But obviously, everyone would now consider him a bust were they to have taken him that high at that point because he's been but since then and through no
I
fault
feel
of
like
his own. I still
the
love the
vibes
kid.
are pretty high for the Jets right now after last weekend. It feels like, and they get the Broncos
they're
this week. I feel like
they're
the vibes are about to build.
they're not
Yeah,
3-4, which is where they were.
I mean,
They're
are
only
they
going to go up.
going to
They're
be
going to get Broncos.
reliant? Are they going to be reliant on players' moms showing up? So Zach Wilson puts his heart on and goes for it. Like, is that the name of the game here?
Oh man, what 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 I want to ask about Brees is a dynasty question, and this is true of Garrett Wilson too. What does the Rodgers injury change anything for you for a dynasty perspective on those fellas?
No.
See, I kind of think it does because Rodgers says he's coming back. Um, I don't really know if he is. Maybe he does. I don't think this season's play like he says he's coming back for a playoff push. That's not happening. Um, I think he'll try to come back next year. And maybe he's all right. I don't.
He might talk his way out of a damn starting job. Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's an asshole.
I'm so blinded by my hatred. I Weird. I think you were there at Oak Street when I told Tate to flip him for a ham sandwich like 3 summers ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that guy. I mean,
he's
I
out
wish
here.
him nothing but the worst.
This is what I'll say. He's out here shilling hard for his ownership, which you've got to respect. The fact that he's taken the Johnson & Johnson versus Pfizer thing down to like shit-talking Pfizer's marketing partners, it shows to me that he's committed to the team. So, I don't know. My real football take is like, I don't think this Jets team is positioned to just be out here fucking around with years. So, like, I totally get and respect what they're doing right now, which is we're giving Zach Wilson a real chance with confidence to show he has something. And I think that the most likely scenario is in 3 weeks they have given up on him and make an actual move for a real quarterback. But if they don't, and he does show something, then I'm not really scared by a dynasty because, I mean, I'm a little bit more on Paul as a running back, but like for Garrett Wilson, no. Like I'm in on the talent, I'm in on the player. Like they'll figure out their receiver, their quarterback room at some point, or they won't, and he'll be of another team. And it's just like kind of like to me, it's the ultimate. I got a ton of shares of Brandon Ayuk this year, and Brandon Ayuk was being faded because of the weapons in that room. And in my mind, like he's out at the end of the year if they can't pay him, and he's going to go somewhere else. Like there's. The talent just ends up for these receivers. The talent kind of, especially high draft capital, like someone will want him. You know, there's enough receiver needy teams that I'm not super worried from a dynasty aspect.
You're right. That's exactly how it played out with Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, talent wins out, not necessarily the draft status.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll pretend like you didn't just say that, but okay.
I do have to say my favorite stat in all of fantasy football is that since King Hoot drafted Michael Thomas in either D-Gen or Fuckfest, I think Michael Thomas has caught 0 or 1 touchdown, and that was like 4 years ago.
No, it was it's in 1,000-Year War. I drafted him in the first round of 1,000-Year War, and since that time he has played like 5 games and not caught a touchdown. Or no, he's caught 2 touchdowns.
Oh, he's caught 3, yeah, but it's been abysmal. It's almost as bad as Gurley at like the 202 and 1,000-Year War.
Yeah, luckily, my 1,000-Year War team has been shitty for many other reasons, but yeah, he's definitely taking some L's on that.
It's funny you mention that because Michael Thomas is my number one concern case when I think of Garrett Wilson. Because like best case, Rodgers comes back and it's Rodgers for 1 more year, right? And then you're in the exact situation that Michael Thomas was in. I don't know, man. It's just dicey when the quarterbacks get that old.
Yeah. I don't think anyone thinks Rodgers is going to get better from this injury. He's not going to get better as he keeps getting older. I don't know. And Garrett Wilson is awesome. He's so talented. He's so skilled. So maybe it doesn't matter. But I'm telling you what, he does not look good with fucking Zach Wilson throwing him the ball. I also have no idea. Like, this organization was so quick to move on from Sam Darnold. I think this team has a lot more reason to believe that they're contenders than they did when they had Sam Darnold. And so I don't really get why like they haven't. Maybe there's no one to bring in, but I was just like very surprised like that they're not bringing anybody else in. They're not making any trades. They're not trying to get anybody else. And maybe there isn't anybody else, but I don't know. I was just kind of surprised by that, and I think it.
Alexander, obviously we're not GMs in the NFL, but what do you guys think Kirk Cousins would realistically get traded for this year, considering he's on an expiring contract and probably is going to go to the market?
I think the harder part with Kirk is if he was willing to waive the no trade clause. Like, if I'm Kirk right now, I'm on pace to throw for like 5,000 yards this year. Why do I want to leave the confines of an offense where I'm going to throw for 5,000 yards and get paid again next year to go somewhere where like maybe I don't look as good and then I fuck up my money next year? Like, if we got to respect anything about Kirk, it's that he's all about that cash.
Yeah, and he's good at getting it. But
Cole's cash.
Yeah, but
sorry, I hate
purely like in a trade, just like what it would cost if he was willing to waive his trade clause. I mean, I think you're not talking about less than a third. I don't think. I think it's maybe even more. It's not a first though. Like probably a third.
I didn't know he had a no trade clause, so that's interesting.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a little less than what Rodgers was.
I don't think it's a first with a 1 year deal. I mean, you'd have to be pretty confident you can keep him. Like, who are the teams doing that?
I mean, Jets.
Well, I mean, if he's waiving the no trade clause, wouldn't you be pretty confident that you're keeping him?
It's a 1 year rental because the Jets. I mean, again, for good or for bad, I think they're in on Rodgers for next season.
Yeah, that's true.
So if it's a 1 year rental, you can't be giving out. They don't have. I guess they'll have their first next year, but you can't give another first for that. You don't have your second next year because you're trading that for Rodgers. It's a third. And if you're the Vikings, if you lose, that's what I'm saying. Like, a trade like that, I think happens in a couple of weeks. Like, if you're the Vikings, you have to really be like 1-6 or 0-7 and be like, you know what, fuck it, let's get in this Caleb Williams, Drake May hunt,
Right. And I agree with you that I agree with both you and A&F that A&F, yes, it is surprising that they didn't go and immediately make a move. Like, I mean, I honestly thought maybe they'd call San Francisco about Darnold. But
anybody.
Yeah, Briard, I'm totally I'm with you. I think the move was rather than, waste a few weeks to get a new quarterback up to speed on the playbook and all the growing pains that come along with that sort of shit. Just stick with a guy who's already in your org and knows the playbook and can theoretically run the offense, just pare it down substantially. I was not surprised at all by what happened. I agree. I'm sorry. I was surprised a little bit that they didn't go out and get a new quarterback, but at the end of the day, I think it made sense that they stuck with him.
At the end of the day, as someone who roots for a team that has Jordan Love as their starting quarterback, who I think Love might be okay, I'd be very happy if I knew Kirk Cousins was my quarterback long term and had him on a long term deal. Especially after seeing Danny Dimes. He got paid what, $40 million a year, Danny Dimes, last year?
45.
I'd be a lot happier giving that money to Kirk Cousins if I got to give that money to a quarterback.
If we're comparing bad quarterback contracts to make other quarterbacks seem more feasible,
I mean, 4 games.
The list starts and ends with Taysom Hill.
That's
Yeah.
Alexander's favorite contract, actually, ever.
It just brings such a smile to my face because when that contract got signed, I had to listen to just so much flubbery from Curn about no, it's just a play on the cap. You'll see it. The Saints aren't paying this guy a dime. He's a fucking shitter, and we're not going to pay him any money. And they keep writing him checks, and he keeps on being an asshole. So, I
Nothing makes me happier than those snaps he gets in the red zone where they take their quarterback off the field to give it to Taysom Hill. Absolutely electric. They will never stop doing that.
No. What you missed? I don't know if y'all watched the game this week, but an all-time shitty play that when you have the players to run it. So Derek Carr in the shotgun.
I know exactly the play you're talking about, Briard, because you quote tweeted it. I could recite your tweet to you right now. I know I was in awe of that play. I hadn't seen it until you quote tweeted it. I watched it 50 times.
So it's a simple. It's not a simple play. It's a tricksy play that's if you guys haven't seen it, that is actually a decent design if you use your personnel in the correct thing, which is Derek Carr takes the snap, hands the ball to Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill starts to run a sweep to the left, then pitches it back to Kamara, running back around to the right on reverse. That play conceptually makes sense. You're leveraging the fact that you have Taysom Hill, who's a confusing thing, is he quarterback and he steps to the side and moves. No. What the Saints do is line up Taysom Hill in the shotgun with Derek Carr next to him as the running back, and then hand the ball to Derek Carr running the sweep to the left, which, with an AC sprain, the entire Bucs defense goes, no the fuck you're not, and just bites in on Alvin Kamara on the reverse. Because of course Derek Carr is not running, not a threat to take the ball. It was so nonsensical. I was at the game this weekend. I lost my fucking mind. I was like, "What are we doing? I don't understand this." I'm the quote tweet that Andy's talking about was, "When you go too far past clever, you end up at dumb shit," which is like where we are now. This is nonsensical.
Oh my god!
It was the playbook that Pete Carmichael put together his junior year of high school when it was 1 a.m. and he had totally forgot it was due first period the next day, and he just copied and pasted it over from his previous class where his quarterback was fucking Lamar Jackson. I mean, what are you doing? Your guy's out there hurt. You're running a not like a naked bootleg, like a legit handoff. I mean, what in God's name?
Yeah.
Which again, if you're trying to be tricksy and line up Taysom first in the shotgun, then have him step to the side, have Derek Carr. If you're running reverse and the idea is to get a team biting, line Taysom Hill up at quarterback, have Taysom Hill hand the ball to Alvin Kamara running the sweep left. Taysom goes out to block to the right, which is what you want to do because he can block, and then have the reverse be flipped back to Olave or Shaheed or another fast guy. There's ways to run this exact same concept and take advantage of the dynamic players you have. The way to absolutely not do it is to use Derek Carr as a running wreck as a threat. It's just.
Although, Briard, you mentioned if you want to get the defense to press, you use Taysom taking the snap, handing it to Kamara. I just want to. You probably know the answer to this, so I'm going to pose the question to Lippy and ANF. What would you two guess the ratio of carries taken to passes thrown was for Taysom in 2022, so last year?
Oh, man. It's
85-15, pass obviously being the 15.
I think it's higher.
Wow.
I mean,
it does feel like he runs it every time.
He does run it every time, but he still averages 6 yards a carry. I mean, I don't want to get into a Taysom value debate, but he's not a bad running threat. If what you're using him on the field to do is
take your quarterback off
run.
the field, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, when your quarterback.
Yeah, you were pretty much exactly on the nose, Lippy. I think it was literally 92 carries to 13 passes or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Briard, you're right. He averages 6 yards a carry, and we're not getting into the Taysom Hill discussion. But holy fucking shit! Why do you need to line him up at quarterback to do this?
Well, no, honest, you know what play gave me more hope for the fact that they're finally using Taysom in any sort of understandable way was week 2 when we're down running backs and they line Taysom up just as the fucking running back and hand them the ball in an I formation and he gained like 4 yards. And I'm like, why are there plays where we've got... I've watched 3 years of Saints football with like Mark Ingram on one leg, fucking cast off running backs we signed the week before, dude's named Toby. Like, I don't understand what's happening when Taysom Hill, again, every time you give him a handoff from a formation that, as Andy correctly just pointed out, everyone in the field knows it's a running play, and he's still gaining 6 yards a carry. What if you just, again, put him in shotgun next to Derek Carr instead of Adam Prentice, which is what we're doing from time to time as a blocking when we want a solid blocker. Taysom can block. Put him there. He's a threat to run. He's a threat to catch a ball. Like, if you're trying to use the utility of a player, which I do believe he has, like he is a Swiss Army knife that allows you to do a lot of different things with him, then that's his purpose. Like, that's what you have to leverage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we have misused him. I'm not trying to say he was worth the contract he signed, but I think we have consistently misused him. And the only chance we really have is that Sean continues to lose his goddamn mind in Denver, and we get to trade him for a second-round pick in the next couple of weeks.
I mean, hey, do y'all have Denver's first this year? Is that like...
No, we have their second. So they gave us the option of if we wanted their second this last draft and their first next year, or their first this last draft and their second next year. Okay. And in classic Mickey Loomis decision making, we said, well, they have the 29th pick this year. There's almost no way they have a higher pick next year, but fuck it. Let's go ahead and take the 29th pick and a second next year, which I think their pick right now is projected to be like pick 6 or some shit. So, yeah. Great value is all.
How do you guys feel about the Bucks down there in the NFC South?
I don't believe in them. I just watched that team, and that team's not fucking good. I mean, Baker's playing decent football right now, but that never lasts. And I think they're, hey, shit, it's a shitty NFC South. Saints look like dog shit.
That division
the Panthers
is
have
really
their receiving core. The Falcons refuse to throw the ball to Andy's 5 first-round draft picks. So I don't know. Like, maybe the Bucks take it in the NFC South, but I don't know. I don't think they're a good team.
I mean, it feels like the Falcons. I don't even know.
Wait, the joke, Briard, is that one of those picks, I'm pretty sure, was also Drake London. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Double entendre.
So the real... I know this is taking 2 conversations we're having and morphing them into one, but the real question, going back to the Kirk Cousins decision, is how much would you trade as the Falcons for Kirk Cousins right now? And why is that trade not happening?
Wow.
Because
that's a great question.
Very interesting.
Somebody needs to trade for Kirk Cousins.
I think it might be the Atlanta Falcons.
That would make so much sense.
Wow.
Like, if I'm the Falcons, I would do that deal. I would trade, I mean, barring a first-round pick, I'd trade pretty much anything for Kirk Cousins, and I'd sign him to a massive deal next year, and I'd be like, we are now easily the best team in the NFC South.
Good. I'll tell you why the deal isn't happening. Because Arthur Smith is fucking waiting until Tannehill becomes...
I thought you could go the other direction. The one I saw the other day that I was like, okay, I get it, although I wouldn't do it, is that they're sitting around waiting for Fields to bust in Chicago and try and pick him up to make an ultimate running team that just literally never passes the ball.
I mean, the Bears are going to have 2 top 5 picks this year.
Yeah, the Bears are taking a quarterback. The Fields thing is done in Chicago. And it's not, I don't think it's, I'm not trying to kill him yet. I mean, I don't know if any of y'all watched QB School, JT O'Sullivan, which is like a blast from the past as a Saints fan.
Yeah.
Has this really cool,
awesome.
like, he's a great YouTube channel where he breaks down film, and like, I cannot recommend, if you're looking for some just pure comedy, watching like the first couple of weeks of Justin Fields breakdowns, because I mean, yeah, Fields has problems, Fields needs work, all sorts of stuff like that, but the Chicago offense is not a real offense, and that looks like just an absolute disaster over there. So, I mean, I don't know if Fields is done, but he's done in Chicago. Like, they're going to need it. They're going to have to clean house and draft a quarterback and like start from ground one again, which thankfully they have the resources to do it.
Yeah, yeah. That really is pretty ugly over there. It's also really ugly in Denver. That's a nasty situation. Um, but the Tex. I'm interested about all
Looks
this.
great in
This.
Houston though.
Oh my goodness! I was just about to say I'm very excited because all this NFC South talk. We play the NFC South 4 games in a row. If we go Falcons, Saints, Panthers, Bucks. So gonna
Are
be
the Texans 2-2?
the Texans are 2-2. The entire AFC South is 2-2. It is tied up. So
ANF. Are the Texans going to win that AFC
the
South?
Texans. I mean, Lippy, it could happen. The Texans could win the division this year, and we are way ahead of schedule. But it is very, very possible. The Texans look so good with holograms playing an offensive line. We beat the Steelers with authority. With
I
authority.
thought Tunsil.
Yeah, he hasn't. I think he played game one and hasn't played since. I think he should be. I think
Checkmate.
Oh,
Check
really?
Mason should be back soon too, right?
him and Howard are back this week. It is going to be beautiful. It is beautiful. Will Anderson. This was a fun stat. Um, this guy that everyone said the Texans just got jammed the fuck out of on the draft. First of all, absolute legend. He's already blocked a field goal. He ran a fucking fumble that he forced back last week, but they called it back because they said T-Law's knee was down. Or yeah, no, they said fucking Pickett's knee was down. Um, let's see here. He's getting doubled the third most in the league, only behind Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons. Um, absolute fucking stud. The defense is playing great ball. I mean, I am so biased, but C.J. Stroud he's a fucking miracle. He's a fucking miracle. Like he's thrown for how many yards? I think it's like 1,200, no picks, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, you wanted the exact opposite experience of watching that Justin Fields QB school. Go watch the CJ Stroud QB school, and you're gonna be dancing, my man.
Whew.
Dance.
Whew. I mean, he has just made throws that is just like I've never seen a Texans quarterback make that throw ever.
Honestly, if I was a
Wait,
Texans fan right
Deshaun
now,
didn't make those throws?
No. This I'm telling you, he is better than Deshaun Watson.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing. I'm legitimately just like
Yeah. No.
Like
If I'm
Deshaun
a-
made some pretty great throws.
if I'm a Texans fan, my biggest concern is that y'all lose the offensive coordinator after 1 year as a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
That would be very sad. But to speak to Deshaun, like Deshaun, I think what he did the best in Houston because he had lots of O-line problems also. But what Deshaun did really well was like make just terrible situations into something. And the way it always felt is that we were able to pull it out and make some fuck magic happen. All of the stuff that we're doing on offense right now seems so organic and repeatable. There's nothing Stroud is doing that's like, holy shit, that's how is that possible? It's like, wow, that is so repeatable. That is so you can do that time and time again. It's just it's like
What I've seen
wow.
from Stroud so far is that all of his highlights have been in structure.
Yeah.
Which is like a very good sign for the team.
While we're on talking about how happy I am with Stroud, and while I alluded to my apology earlier, I am so not excited about Richardson being in the division. My goodness.
You're telling me.
That guy is a capital P problem. I'm still happy we have Stroud. I love that he's our guy, but Richardson terrifies me. Because I think that he could just go fucking wild on any team, any given week, and there's nothing anyone could do about it. He just says, checkmate, fuckers. So, that guy's a menace. He's going to be such a problem, and I hate that the Colts just without fail get amazing quarterbacks. It's unfair, is what it is. At the same time, Andy, the Titans fucking blow. That's just a terrible organization. They're a terrible franchise, and the fact that the Burrows gifted y'all with a win, it's very not happy about that. But I actually think the Titans probably lose the division. Is actually what I'm thinking happens now. Just FYI.
Like in terms of finishing last, is what you're saying?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it's going to be a competitive division through the end of the year. So I wouldn't like. I don't think there's any shame in finishing fourth in that division. But I do think there's shame in is winning 4 games, which I think the Titans are in serious danger of doing. They suck so bad. I don't know how they beat the brakes off the Bengals this weekend. But they're terrible.
What I guess I'm curious about, like excessive shit talking aside, is like, is Henry just done? Is it over? I don't really understand what's happening. Like, are they trying to load manage? What's going on?
The guy that I follow on Titans Twitter the most, who I most respect in terms of like film analysis, is this guy named Superhorn. Or that's his Twitter name. I don't know what his handle is or his real life name, but he's on top of his shit. And what I've seen him say is that Derek doesn't have the extra gear like he used to, but he's still got everything else. So yeah, it's probably over for Derek as like an elite, league winner, fantasy type guy. But in terms of
NFL
being,
wise,
yeah, like I don't think he finishes with fewer than 1,000 yards this year, and he probably gets 1,200. But is the Tajay show coming to theaters near you soon? Yes. That kid is fucking good.
Tajay is for fucking real.
Yeah. I'm really excited that there's another Tennessee running back that can average like 180 yards against the Titans. But at some point, I've heard that this is true. At some point, Tennessee is going to have to pass the ball. That's not going very well so far. Is it a Tannehill problem? Is it a Hopkins and Burks problem? Is it O-line? Like, I don't know. The Titans,
Burks
they just
blows. Hopkins is slow. Tannehill sucks. And the line blows. It's everything. It's all bad. It's all bad.
So Burks blows.
Terrible team.
Like is he actually just not going to work out? Like I don't understand, because I think he looks awful. I've not seen anything from him that gets me excited or fearful as a Texans fan. I'm just like, great. Yeah, if we've got to lose to Treylon Burks, please let's make that happen. But I don't know.
I've just seen the stuff I've seen from Treylon Burks is like it's like he's doing stuff that you saw AJ Brown do in his first like 3 games with the Titans, to where I can understand how people were like, this guy can grow into a 1-for-1 AJ Brown replacement. The problem is he's doing this mid-second year. He's committing the drops that AJ was committing, a year and a half later into his progression. I mean, the issue with him in Arkansas was that he was a big, strong, fast guy, but that was it. He was not. He was pretty one-dimensional, and that's kind of what he is for the Titans. And moreover, he's dropping catchable deep shots, and it's just like there's such a thin margin of error on those deep shots. Like, you just drop because the volume is so low, you can only take a certain number a game, right? And they can only go to, you got to spread the love to some extent. You can't just only target Treylon deep. And so you're not going to see that many. And if you drop 2 in 4 weeks, that's the difference between a super elite player and a fucking, Jahan Dotson. So I don't know. I'm very down on Traylon right now. Is there a chance that he turns it around and becomes a perennial 1,000-yard receiver? I guess, but I just don't see the way he's been used. His per route run target earned efficiency numbers from last year just don't seem. It seems like it was an aberration more than a sign of great things to come, and that is more consistent with what I saw on film when he was at Arkansas. So anyway, I'm not trying to take a victory lap, but I didn't think he was good when we drafted him. I don't think he's good now. I hate the Titans, and I'll want to be a Texans or Colts fan, but alas.
Well, I'd welcome you over, but actually, fuck you. No Titans fans allowed.
I wouldn't trust you. You said anything other than that.
So, curious about Traylon from a fantasy perspective, because I definitely agree he sucks from an NFL perspective, just in terms of where he is at now. Maybe he develops later, who knows. But I remember I got so much shit from Taysom Hill lover Kevin Curn about taking Olave ahead of Burks. I'm just trying to think. Would you rather have? So I'm just looking at that draft. I think everyone would take Olave and Garrett Wilson ahead of Burks. I don't think that's in question. What about Drake London? Would you rather have Burks or Drake London?
London.
Here's a fun one.
Everyone's
The saddest question I've ever heard.
Jameson Williams.
Jameson.
JMO.
Christian Watson.
Christian.
Jahan Dotson.
Dotson.
Wandale Robinson.
I'd rather have Burks over Dotson. I don't think Dotson is good. I've never understood that hype.
What about George Pickens?
I would way rather have Pickens than Burks.
Wow.
Pickens is very similar to Burks, except he catches the ball.
That's probably the line. Romeo Dobbs. Romeo Dobbs or Treylon Burks?
That's Burks, and that's not even a hard question.
Just had to ask.
Dobbs is ass.
Lippy is Dobbs
I mean-
ass. Just had to ask.
I mean, that's
so
an
ass.
interesting take just to say he's ass.
He's ass.
I mean,
Right
I'd find it
place,
hard
right
pressed to find a
time.
receiver I'd find it hard pressed to find a receiver in the National Football League who's the wide receiver 14 through 4 weeks. That's just ass. Can at least be okay.
I'll show you number 20, and it's Tutu Atwell.
And he's okay.
No, he's ass.
Wow.
You think Tutu Atwell's okay?
I mean, he's okay. I mean, you can't put.
If anyone listening to this podcast thinks Tutu Atwell is okay and you are similarly situated, I have some Tutu Atwell. I'd be happily willing to trade you.
Yeah.
Same. You put Tutu Atwell on the Jets, and he is putting Xavier Gibson lines up.
Well, by the way, Xavier Gibson, elite player, very likable fellow. Check him out on Hard Knocks. Send me a Fuckfest trade request. Just as an FYI for everybody. So, want to focus a quick question in right now about y'all's thoughts, because I've never played with y'all in a redraft league. I think we're going to change that this offseason. I think we're going to set one up. But I wanted to know what y'all think and what y'all do in y'all's redraft leagues with fab and free agent budget spending. What's the most you'll spend on a player after week 1? Because Lippy basically said you won't to me spending all of my fab on Kyron Williams after week 1.
It was a great move.
And it worked out. And I love just being super aggressive with fab. In my first year at Apex, I got mocked for spending 30% or 35% of my fab on a combined pickup of Philip Lindsay and Austin Eckler when like they had their amazing year. So I'm curious, like, do y'all do a lot with like really aggressive fab, or do you just hoard it like shekels, like Kevin Curn does? He actually just rejoined the Discord, so I'm really interested to hear what y'all
I'll
have to
kill
say.
you for not giving me a trigger warning on mentioning Philip Lindsay, but continue.
But yeah, I love Philip Lindsay so much. It's such a shame it didn't work out. But yeah, like let's say Kyron breaks out week one. Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen in these next couple of weeks and if it's going to be sustainable. What's kind of the bid you would put in on him, or on Puka after week one? Let's say he did get drafted in your league. What are you willing to pony up and spend in terms of fab? Because I'm at the point now where I lost Nick Chubb and I have no fab left. So like one, I guess it does make it really nice that I picked up Kyron, but at the same time, I have no more fab. I'm all out. I'm broke. No fab left. So I'm just curious if y'all have any thoughts about how you used fab or any general policies, or if it just depends.
I'm pretty bad about not spending fat. Like, I'd say the better way to say it, I guess, is that I'm conservative with my fab usage. But I'm much more likely to end up blowing a lot of extra fab on a quarterback or a running back in like week 12 than I am to blow it up front. I hate being in a position where, especially in like a 2 QB league or something like that, where like my quarterback can get hurt in week 6 and I don't have any. I mean, it sucks like not having the fab to get his back up, and then I'm just done. So
Yeah.
I tend to hoard a little bit.
I feel like it depends on the league at the end of the day. If you're talking 2 QB, like you just said,
Yeah.
I mean, you want fab to be able to get a quarterback, but when you're playing 1 QB, I feel like just when you need a player, you pay whatever you think you need to pay to get the player. Doesn't matter how much you spend.
You
Kyron
guys
was one
wouldn't
of
understand, but Briard and I came up in the age of Kevin Ogletree, so you know,
that's
different time.
Year 102 for
Different-
Kyron A&F is a great deal though. He's a top 15 running back, probably end of the season, maybe even top 10. Probably honestly top 10.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hurt.
I mean, so I let it rip on these early week fabs like almost every year. Like I am down at least, I don't know, at least 50% of my fab. It's also totally fucked me before. I don't know if you remember when I dropped $69 after week one on DeMarcus Robinson, Lippy, but that one didn't work out. So there's plenty of times where you just have no fab and you have no good player. So anyway.
I'm actually and just to take your question a step farther, I'm actually very likely guy. I like to wait out the week 1 fab bid war and then pick up the guys who people were too quick to cut.
They drop too soon. That's interesting.
Yeah, the people who are like throw away somebody for that, that hot. Now this season was a bad season for it because to your point, a lot of those week 1 guys all hit.
Yeah.
But in year over year, I tend to feel like people get a little feisty over someone who's doesn't necessarily keep it together. Yeah, and then throw away a guy who, in my mind, like if you just drafted them round, they're normally late round guys, but you just drafted somebody in round 12, you're picking up a guy who's undrafted. Like I'll take the guy in round 12 for free and see if give him a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But that doesn't always work out. That's just that's something that I tend to lean towards.
Yeah. Interesting. Standings overview for Fuckfest. Let's take a look here. We have alleged champion Andy Waters sitting at 5-3 because we have median scoring now.
Pay no attention to what my record would have been had Tate scored 1 more point last week. Definitely wouldn't have been 3 and 5.
I missed that. What happened here?
Our matchup was the league median, and I think it came down to the final play for him. It was heartbreaking for some people.
For some people, not necessarily you, but some people.
Some people. Tate's diehard fans out there.
Oh my goodness.
They've got the Giants fans bags on their heads.
Wow, he's desperate. He started DTR. If he just didn't start DTR, he wins.
That was it. Yeah, if he had started literally what's his
but
face, who did nothing. Someone did absolutely nothing, but it would have made more sense.
Kenneth Gainwell for 5.1, Tank Dell for 3.4.
Tank, that's it. Tank only dropped 3.4, and he still would have won the matchup. DTR just threw 3 picks.
I'll never forgive Tate for he picked Tank right before I was on the clock. That's so sad. But life goes on.
Hey, I got to hop. Thanks for having me on. Do it again soon.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining
It
us.
was lovely, Hoot.
Good one, sir. Curn, are you here? Or are you just like muted, eating Cheetos, listening to the pod? Like what's going on here, Curn? He really might, like, I don't know, be in the shower or something.
Just listening while he's in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Apparently he can hop on and confirm this whenever he wants. Apparently he showers 3 times a day. It's good to keep clean. But let's see.
He did just message and said he showers 3 times a day, and he's showering currently.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. He's finishing up his shower. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, Mr. Waters, it looks like, no offense, Lippy, I mean, you are 1-7, so that, and it's a long season. It's not anywhere close to over. First of all, Lippy, do you think playoffs are viable for you right now? Like, is that something?
Not a chance.
Okay, not a chance. Not even a small chance.
Less than 5% chance.
Okay, Mr. Waters, what do you think your odds are right now? What's your comfort level in repeating your claim to the championship?
Probably about 100%.
Okay, about
100. Maybe 99.
Yeah. Okay, 99
something
maybe.
Like that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Word. Let's take a look at this roster of yours. You got Joe Burrow. He's terrible. So do you know what's wrong with Joe Burrow? As someone that has him, I have no idea. I keep I've seen so much different stuff about, like, oh, the calf injury could mean this, the calf injury could mean that. I don't really know. I guess I have no other reason to believe it's anything other than the calf injury, but I've just been so frustrated with it that I really just think maybe the team is, like, going to shit. I have no idea what's going on. But that's a tough one.
Bar's comments did not inspire confidence.
He's always fucking open.
Always fucking open. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's big time problem city over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it really
is.
But
I'll tell you where it's not problem city. It's not problem city where you have the option to elevate Anthony Richardson and just fucking replace Burrow's ass. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Sir, the real question is, how much are you going to give up to get Sam Laporta to plug in at tight end, considering you got Goddard and Pitts there?
Wow.
Don't I have Evan Ingram?
You do have Evan.
You have Ingram too? Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have enough tight ends in this league? Jesus.
Yeah, I got a lot. I heard it was tight end premium, so I don't know. I don't know what y'all heard.
He also has Kyle Pitts. We no one can ever forget that.
I'd rather have one shitty Pitts than a shitty Brees, a shitty Drake London, and a shitty whatever else those other picks turned into.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then I wouldn't have enough roster space to elevate Anthony Richardson and replace Joe Burrow.
Right. It all had to. There was always a reason. Everything works out for a reason.
There's always a plan.
Yeah.
Like, I drafted Rashad Bateman with a first round pick or a second round pick so that I could drop him for Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no tiers, only purpose.
Let's see here. Let me take a look at Kern's Fuckfest team. Let's see here. He has Lucky Duck Josh Allen. Boy, that was a tough week to play against that guy. In the dig stack, that's right.
Whenever I catch Kern during the Allen dig stack, and Kern, turn the water pressure up because I don't want you to hear this. I am actively on suicide watch. I text certain family members concerning paragraphs that are designed to elicit a safety focused response.
Yeah.
I remove sharp objects from my house. Um, it is a bad time, and it's not one of those things where it's like you open up Sleeper and you're like, oh, my opponent had Diggs and Josh Allen. It's like, no, I know I was playing Curn because his stupid little Drain the Waters name pops up on Sleeper all week, and I know going into that game that they're gonna go off,
Yeah.
and when they do go off, you know it was against you, and it's there's just no worse feeling in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Curd is sending ha-ha-ha's in a group chat with me and Lippy right now. So he's actively listening to this.
Curn, you can turn your water pressure back down.
um, yeah. He started Trevor Lawrence too. So obviously things are not going great in Jacksonville, but good bounce back game for them. Are you worried about T-Law at all? We kind of briefly discussed him earlier, but just wanted to get your thoughts because it's always good to pick your brain when we have the chance.
You talking on to Curn or
No,
to me?
to you. Yeah, I don't give a fuck what
Yo,
Curran thinks about him.
if I'm holding T-Law's contract in Dynasty, I'm less than enthused, but I'm not moving him. I think he's a star.
Yeah,
He makes throws that just normal humans can't make at a high efficiency rate too. I don't know why they've had such struggles over the last 2 or 3 games, but this is again a couple of games.
exactly.
Ridley's knocking off the rest.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not worried.
that's completely how I feel about it too. I think the Jags, for whatever reason, I don't know if they're legit, but I do think Trevor Lawrence is legit. Um,
Oh yeah,
and
he and Anthony Richardson, and I guess Josh Allen are probably the most consistent try ridiculous throws in a high volume and complete way more of them than they should. Like Mahomes obviously will forever be near the top of that leaderboard, but the volume of what the fuck throws hasn't quite been there yet.
yeah,
It'll come. He just hasn't had a game where he's had to throw the ball, 55 times like he ordinarily has.
right.
But like, yeah, you see the shit that Josh Allen does, and you're like, no one should attempt that pass, and then he sails it for 65 yards, and it's a drop in the bucket at the same time. It's like, what are you doing? And I really, the only guys I've seen do that shit consistently, actually, Stafford has done it this year too. I'd say Stafford, T-Law, A-Rich, and Josh are the leaders in what the fuck, why, and how throws this year.
Yeah, I would agree. I think T-Law is okay. Let's see. Kurt has updated his fuckfest super name. Drainless Stack on Waters is his new name.
Wow. Wow.
He's such an asshole. He's sitting in his fucking bathroom with his head in a towel right now, just fucking laughing. Yeah, that's nice, Kurt. Sending some emojis. Well, let's see here. I'm trying to think. Lippy, do you have any other subjects you'd like to broach? Is there anything else on your mind? Anything you want to pick Waters' head on or about?
This season, Mr. Waters, do you think McCaffrey keeps it up, averaging 25, 27 points a game?
Nah.
Wow.
I mean, I think
he's on pace
he's
for the.
gonna great, but like you only to score like 15 points a game. Great. 25 to 27 a game is crazy.
If he stays healthy, I think he easily averages over 25 a game. In half point.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, the touchdowns have to come down. The touchdowns.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll average over one a game for the rest of the year. He'll have another 1, 2. I mean, how many games? What, 13 more touchdowns? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
think,
he'll end
I
up
don't
with
know,
20
man.
touchdowns on the season.
I think at a certain point, Kittle and Debo get banged up, and then you're looking at Ayuk and McCaffrey, and teams are gonna say, we're gonna sell out to stop McCaffrey. Purdy, you're gonna have to beat us with no one but Ayuk and Jawan Jennings. Sorry, Rate, he sucks. But yeah, no, I just don't trust that 49ers offense to stay healthy. I think is what it comes down to. If they all stay healthy, then yeah, Christian could put up like ungodly numbers. But A, I don't trust him to stay healthy. But B, like Kittle's gonna miss 3 or 4 games. Debo's already hurt. That hit that he took 2 weeks ago when he was like fighting for like 20 yards of yak, and then he takes this brutal shot to the rib cage on his way down. It's like,
yeah.
Puka doesn't concern himself with the 20 yards of yak because he just gets another 20-yard reception after he goes down. He catches the ball, goes down, another 20-yard catch. That's his yak. His yards after the catch are his 14th and 15th reception.
His yak is the next catch.
Exactly. And Debo is like, I'm just going to volunteer myself as tribute, which everyone loves about him. That's what makes him Debo. But like, I don't know. I just don't think he stays healthy.
Well, I guess my next question would be, just because we are, let's see, Kurt. I hate Curn so much. He says in one of our other chats to keep talking about Puka. He just changed his nickname in our redraft league to Water Certified, with a chart emoji of the chart increasing in value. So,
do you think that chart is about the chart?
It's very good.
Do you think the subject of the chart emoji is the chart's value?
Possibly. I would have to.
Because you said it's the value of the chart increasing in value.
Yeah. So I guess that's like the value of the chart emoji is reflected in the chart emoji. Yeah.
It makes sense because I'd way rather buy a chart that's pointing up than down.
Right. Yeah. Like, how often do you see the one pointing down? Really, not all that often. Which means the one
that's why its value is going down.
Right. Right. And the one that's going up, well, hey, it keeps going up. So
it's only going up.
So I guess
I can see I missed the highly intellectual debate through this.
You really did. You missed some A tier content.
Look at that! Look at the time.
Yes, Tate. Where would you rank JT? What rank in Dynasty? JT is the RB what?
I don't know. Maybe top
JT
5
or
off the top of my head.
JT or ATN?
I think I would go JT.
Okay, well.
Okay, where would you? Okay, Puka Nacua is blank wide receiver in Dynasty.
I honestly, at this point, it might be wide receiver 1. Who even knows? It's insane. I can't. My brain can't process how to. I was telling Andy that last night. I was like, how would you even trade for him or trade him away? Because if you've got him in a league, like, you're thinking that he's on an astronomical pace and can, probably keep this going. If you're trading for it, you're not going to give up what he's probably worth. I don't even know.
Let's see. Who's winning
you
the
guys
NFC
will
South?
find that if we go through the subjects that we talked about tonight, they were pretty much all broached and thoroughly discussed by Ray and I last night.
That's good.
I pretty much word for word stole all of his takes.
By the way,
just the bad ones,
though, to be honest.
Just so you know, Tate, Curn is listening in and is just He has Puka in our main redraft league, and he's lighting up the phone boards with how much he loves hearing y'all talk about Puka. You saying that he could be the wide receiver one in Dynasty, we just got a wall of emojis. So
Is
I mean,
is
the
Pu-
fact
is
that
Puka for $1 out of 200 in an auction keeper league the best keeper ever?
I mean,
The best keeper since
tough to
Justin
argue
Jefferson
otherwise.
in the 2021 keeper
Yeah,
year, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah, he was kept for 2 that year. That was a hell of a keeper.
And then probably after that, sorry, Rate, close your ears. Sun God.
Don't do it.
Wow.
I don't want to talk about it.
well,
People forget that Jack House traded the Sun God for Teddy Bridgewater.
that's a tough
I
trade.
can't imagine creating the Sun God for a Carolina Panthers backup.
That's
I can't either, because technically, if you want to get real technical with it, I traded him for a starter at the time. So you must feel pretty stupid making that analogy.
So I'm curious. I will real quick pick your brain on the big Lippy trade that happened in our redraft league, Mr. Tate. This was a trade. He acquired Christian McCaffrey just by himself. This is
Okay.
redraft, half PPR. He traded for Christian McCaffrey, and in order to do that, he sent away Debo Samuel, Tua, T. Higgins, Rashad White, and Sean Tucker.
Okay. No, wait. That's squeaky toy. All right. Run that by me again.
So Tua, it's a lot. It's a lot. So it's Tua,
Yeah.
Debo, T. Higgins, and then the Tampa Bay backfield, Rashad White and Sean Tucker.
So I assume that he's got bodies to fill the actual positions
He's
on his
starting Josh
roster.
Reynolds. Josh Reynolds. Who else was he start? Oh, Marvin Jones. And who was the third? It was Romeo Dobbs this week at receiver.
Okay.
And then his QB is Dak in a 1 QB.
I mean, Dak and one QB, I've seen worse. I don't know that I can say I've seen worse than those receivers. I mean, I guess the theory is that McCaffrey's so good that he makes up for what you're losing there, but I don't know. I would feel super nervous about that. Just because I don't. I mean, as we say, I don't know how good Dobbs is.
That guy is also 1-3.
Well, yeah, that tracks.
Would you feel better about it if you got Chuba Hubbard?
I hate you so much. You know what? I might. He outsnapped.
I heard he's a
Sanders
starter.
last week, so people were talking that I might have the Panthers starting running back. So tough to say who won that trade as we sit here today.
Alexander, I think we had Tate, Andy, and King Hoot, but he's not here. Look through the Apex teams last year in redraft and kind of declare if they thought they were going to be a playoff team or not in kind of our first post-draft show.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Oh, I would love
because
to
I know that
judge
I'm
people.
not.
That's my favorite thing.
Well, we can let them judge them. We can give them the records and let them just judge where they think teams will be. We can start with Alexander. I agree.
Judge.
Well, we got to go blind resume though, because I'm docking Lippy points right off the bat, just if I find out what team it is.
Yeah, that's true. It's gotta be blind.
All right, so you guys just don't look. He'll read you the starters. With
Mostly
not
because
considering
I'm
your
gonna
bias. Yeah,
gouge
obviously
my
Ken
eyes
Walker
out
and
from
Keenan
looking
are on
at
by this
Lippy's
week.
trades.
And he'll give you the records.
Okay, so this team is 0-4. All right.
Okay.
This team is currently starting C.J. Stroud, Khalil Herbert,
Oh man,
Kyron Williams, Nico Collins, DJ Moore, Jamar Chase, and Hunter Henry.
and James Cook.
They also have James Cook. and Wandale Robinson on the bench with Roshan Johnson.
Love Roshan.
What are your thoughts on that team being 0-4? Oh, they've also got Joe Burrow on the bench. What are your thoughts on them making the playoffs?
I mean, I feel really bad for that. Yeah, I feel bad for that person because I feel like after the draft, you're feeling fantastic about that team.
They
also has Nick
they
Chubb
had
and
Nick
IRA.
Chubb. They had Nick Chubb too.
That really sucks.
I'm feeling good about this team. You got Herbert and Roshan, so you got the Bears backfield locked up. You got Kyron.
You got
Cook. Smitty. That's basically all you need.
And I think Burrow will bounce back. So I mean, 0-4 is a tough start, but I wouldn't rule that team out of making the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Guys, I really don't know how to tell you how much that means to me.
And if you got an easy matchup this week, there's hope. You get to 1-4, and then 2-4, and 3-4. You get to 4-4, so you have hope. Even 3-5, you'll be okay. There's hope.
We build, Alexander. That's what we do. We stack one win after the other. It's a week by week proposition.
He's facing the guy that has Ken Walker and Keenan on bye this week. He has a chance to win.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love that if you go 3-1, you're 3-5. That's a pretty generally established principle of how being 0-4 works, but I don't know. Something about saying it out loud just makes it
so
a lot funnier.
It's so daunting.
You just go on and you're still losing. That's tough.
It's a lot like how Tate feels about golfing with me.
It's not. Let me assure you.
And we're also not talking about real golf, just FYI. And it's not a euphemism for doing coke. Don't even ask.
All right, next squad.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, go with that 3-1 squad. That 2 above that last squad you did.
Okay.
Wonder who that's going to be.
Okay, so this will be a hit. This is not Lippy.
Okay.
So this team is helmed by Lamar Jackson. They have Jahmyr Gibbs, Zach Moss, Justin Jefferson, Calvin Ridley, Puka Nacua, Dalton Kincaid, and Jerome Ford starting.
Then Zay Flowers, I guess you can add in too.
And there's Zay Flowers on the bench, and then pretty much just some flyers, people like Zach Charbonnet and Jacoby Myers.
Okay. I mean, it's funny to think of Zach Charbonnet as a flyer based on how much Lippy always loved him, but
I hate being right.
I mean, I would. The Zach Moss thing, I just don't know what Jonathan Taylor, how that whole thing is going to play out. Like, I think he's slated to come off PUP.
He's practicing tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm assuming that he's going to come back and play hard and not have an injury nagging thing pop up just to get out of anything. I don't think they trade him.
Hey, why would he do that?
Why would he do what?
What you just said, play hard and not get a nagging injury. That's literally what he did in camp. He sustained an injury in a hoodie and shorts, didn't he?
No. He had an off-season training thing with his back. If that's what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
I
bet he did. Didn't that coincidentally get announced the night after the Eckler-Saquon Zoom call?
I think it did, actually. I believe that it did.
I don't know, man. I don't really see a situation where JT comes back and is like a monster and all in.
Okay, so do we think that's a playoff team, though? 3-1?
Yeah, I think so.
I do.
The 1 seed
I definitely do.
Yeah.
I'm high on Charbonnet, too.
I don't know about Moss as far as long-term stuff goes, but Gibbs should still be good once they figure out whatever they're going to be doing with him. But the receivers are good enough that it almost doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, and that team is doing very well in the points for. Unfortunately, they are going to be very annoying and tough to deal with. That was Curran's team, by the way. Um, so
Definitely annoying and tough to deal with. That track.
here is another team. This team is 3-1, and in the same division as those other two teams. Um, they're helmed by Jordan Love, Joe
Yeah.
Mixon, David Montgomery, C.D. Lamb, Devontae Smith, who they just traded for, Tyler Boyd, Darren Waller, James Conner. On the bench, there's Mike Evans, who was injured and then on bye this week. T. Law.
ANF, can you scroll back up? I missed the starters.
Sure. So it's Jordan Love, Joe
Mixon,
Mixon,
Monty, Lamb, yeah.
Devontae Smith, Tyler Boyd. He has
Oh my god.
he has
This team fucking sucks.
well,
Dude, whose team is this?
well,
We can't
This
find
shit
that
is-
out
Williams
yet.
on the IR. Mike Williams on the IR.
It
That
is
does nothing. He's
so
done for the year.
Jover for this team.
They're 3-1.
Waller, fuck that. Cut him. Cut his ass.
Andy, you
Mixon,
really don't like this team?
I hate this team. Mixon's walking dead. Monty's going to be frustrating week to week. CD blows. Smitty's the only good player. Tyler Boyd, is he still in the league?
Well,
I mean, James Conner.
I think he's in the
CD
lineup
is
because of
good.
Mike Evans. He's in the lineup.
You have
because of Mike
you have an animated corn husk in your flex spot, whoever this is. This is fucking terrible. Latavius Murray is like a legit he might start 6 games for this team. You can't look me in the eye and say that that's not a real possibility between bye weeks. Your running backs being shitty. Lippy, this is your team. This is your fucking team. I know it.
This is not my team.
It's
My
not his
team
team.
is
It's
splendid.
our rating champs team.
Okay.
And
He is also 3-1.
he is 3-1. It has less points for than me.
Yeah, I could if this guy makes the playoff, I could see it being a one and done kind of thing. I'm not as down on guys like CD and James Conner as Andy appears to be, but I just wouldn't. There's no one on this team after Devonta Smith that I would trust when it comes playoff time.
Wow.
Well, interesting. We're going to move on to the next squad if it's okay. This team just got their first win. They are 1-3. They are very high in the points for the league, it is worth saying, and you're about to hear why. They are headed by Josh Allen, newly acquired Bijan Robinson, Isaiah Pacheco, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, TJ Hawkinson, Najee, Dalvin Cook
Nothing
on the
on
bench.
the bench.
Nothing. Elijah Moore on the
Maybe
bench.
Johnston.
Quentin Johnston on the bench. But
Lippy, you're quick to leap to this anonymous roster's defense here.
I hesitate even asking, but you say newly acquired Bijan Robinson. What was the process that led to him being acquired?
Okay, so he got Bijan Robinson and George Pickens. He had to give up a $4 keeper, Devon Achane, and A.J. Brown.
It's amazing that you just know this like the back of your hand, Lippy.
It's incredible how it happens like that.
Your commitment to your league mate's transaction history is second to
It's
none.
very impressive. Much like yours with my Cuba trade. We all appreciate that kind of level of memory.
You've officially now, as of this second, brought up the Chuba trade only one fewer time than I have. So
And one fewer time. But
look inward.
I think always. But I think this team, I hate those receivers.
This team sucks.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It's just it's one of those big swing teams. Like I just Drake London hasn't done anything. Garrett Wilson, I think, has done what he can with Zach Wilson. So you hope that he can be strong, but I wouldn't feel great about this. But I mean, based on the other squads we've seen so far, like this probably is a playoff team.
Okay, let's go to the next one, Alexander.
Okay, let's go to the next one. This one is helped by. This is a 3-1 team as well. This team is helped by Anthony Richardson, Devon A-Chain, Christian McCaffrey, A.J. Brown, Christian Watson, Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram, Gus Bus, Danny Dimes on the bench, Cameron Akers somehow, and
Are we sure this isn't the Whippy team with Akers?
And Palmer.
I'm sure Akers was part of the Bijan deal.
Do you think he would give up on Akers? I disagree. I mean, Achan's the best running back in the league, so that's strong right there. And then, I mean, Andy could be here. He probably already has waxed poetic about AR5 before I got on here, and probably will do so again if given the chance.
You think I found any other topic to speak on, Tate?
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty confident that you didn't.
Speaking of topics, I once passed a hot topic in the mall, and there was a strapping young lad working behind the counter who was a robust 6'5", 235 pounds, and looked like he had a rocket arm, which reminds me of.
Yeah, this is a playoff team. I think having McCaffrey, having Achan going off the way, I'm sure it's not sustainable at this level, but I do think he's going to produce the rest of the year at least. And AR5 is just a fantasy gold mine. So
let's just. I mean, I think this is honestly a championship team, but yeah, but probably pretty easily a playoff team.
This is Lippy's roster.
What did I say? Cam Akers was the dead giveaway.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought the other one was Lippy.
Yeah. This is Lippy's team. The other team was Bevo's. Bevo was the team with Josh Allen, Bijan, Pacheco, Garrett Wilson, Drake London.
I'm very happy to have CMC, AJ Brown, and Anthony Richardson every single week. And then Achan, I mean, Watson, Ingram. It could be worse.
So
Can you pull Lippy's roster back up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I hate to say it, but I like this team.
I mean, I would not want to face this team if I had to see it. Simple as that.
Devin Achan has given me pretty strong Doug Martin rookie year vibes, in the sense that, if I recall correctly, Doug was like really, really, really hot to start, and then kind of tapered off into like a fine option, and never was really elite again for the rest of his life. And I don't think Achan is going to follow quite the same trajectory, because I think Doug got a lot more usage than Achan will. But Tate and I were talking about this yesterday. I mean, he's literally 5'8", 185. Like, that's small. That's not big.
That's a little guy.
He doesn't look that small playing, like, at playing speed, but I don't know, man. I'm not counting on him to last for a while.
I'm not bothered by that. I don't really have any reason for it. I just choose not to be that bothered.
Who's the last running back that was that size that was successful though? Not to like use the Bryce Young. No, I'm not saying that it matters. I'm just curious. Like, can you, like, outside of like Sproles?
I was gonna say, like, how big was Danny Woodhead?
I think Woodhead was like 5'6", but he was pretty like built for 5'6". Yeah. Like, he was like 195, I want to say.
I just remember he was really small.
He's very short.
Yeah, I mean, people had those same things to say when Devonta Smith was coming out. There hadn't been a wide receiver that skinny coming to the league and stuff, and I mean, he's been fine. So
yeah, but Smitty doesn't play running back.
Okay, no. So like,
I don't know. Look at the chart I just sent. I don't know how you guys can see Puka's stats and be all high praise about him
Woodhead
and not
was
know how to process it.
5'9",
I don't.
200.
It doesn't matter.
Woodhead had 15 pounds on Achan. Danny Woodhead would be chanting weight room at this little punk. Danny Woodhead. You feel good about that?
I feel great about HN.
I mean, who knows what Danny Woodhead would be chanting these days? So I don't think we should use that as any kind of barometer for anything.
I am blindly aligned with whatever Danny Woodhead chooses to chant these days.
Can we clip that and possibly shellac it on some wood for me or something? I want to hang that in my house.
So real quick, this is the current points for leader for our league. This helped by Jalen Hurts.
FYI, Sproles was 5'6", 190. Yeah, you can't beat the allegations. Achan's gonna die out there. They are gonna the quote tweets of Vaxxed ? Are on their way. Like, it's gonna get bad.
But Andy's not saying that it matters, just to be clear.
I'm not saying that it matters. I'm just saying that you're an idiot and he's not good.
Oh.
Just wanted to make sure that we were all clear on that. It doesn't matter, but at the same time, he's done.
If you could name me one player who is 5'8", 185 or smaller in either height or weight, like, just give it to me. Just give it to me.
Just because I'm on Twitter right now and I see it, Warwick Dunn. I don't know who the hell that is.
You know who Warwick Dunn is?
I could not.
You say you don't know how. You don't know who it is, or you don't know how valid of a comparison that is?
It's very valid of a comparison. He's exactly like Warwick Dunn.
Okay, I was concerned that you didn't know who Warwick Dunn is, and I was.
Warwick Dunn, 5'9", 188.
3 pounds more. No, that is fair. I forgot about Warwick. Not gonna lie. I just don't see it happening.
Also not someone you want to blindly align with. Just before you get out ahead of yourself, Andy.
So
you can't tell me who to blindly align myself with.
I mean, we got to get Danny Woodhead on the pod. There's the chance he'd hop at it. This next team is Jalen Hurts. This guy's got a tough buys right now, so we'll get to the bench in a second. Jalen Hurts, Saquon / Matt Breida. Ken Walker is who's on bye. Amon-Ra, Ayuk, Tutu, Laporta, Gallup, who's really key.
Keenan Allen. He has Josh Kelly there but Josh Kelly sucks. We shouldn't really count Josh Kelly.
I refuse to count Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
And Kenny McIntosh in his IR.
Oh, well, the X Factor.
In a redraft league?
This is our points for leader right now.
What?
Yep.
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I was gonna say Keenan Allen's gone nuclear like 3 of the week.
The Keenan Allen, Hurts, Ken Walker combo is really just absolutely exploding with Ayuk too. A lot of points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a pretty strong roster, especially when Saquon comes back, because they've missed him desperately. And
Dusty's roster too. Wow, you got a lot of rosters. There's some good teams coming up.
But you realize that's only going to bump yours down some, Lippy.
No, mine's pretty much a lock for playoffs.
No, it is. It physically pains me to say that, but it is.
So let's pick a roster that's a little closer to my heart. I'm the only 0-4 team, but let me pick one of these 1-3 teams, and y'all let me know if you think that there's brighter days ahead.
Oh God!
Jared Goff,
Kill me.
Miles Sanders.
He fucking sucks.
Oh no!
Brees Hall, Jalen Warren,
Oh
Stephon
no.
Diggs, Jade Reed, Reed Sheen, Mark Andrews. He does have Chris Godwin on by.
Yes, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Oh yeah, he's been real good.
He's got
Deontay
Deontay
Johnson, I
Johnson
guess.
and Eli Mitchell on IR. Um, what are you? What are
Well,
your?
today I learned that Eli Mitchell was on IR. Huh.
Here is
I was going to take his rushing over.
here's
I think I might have.
Well, wait. I don't know if he's on IR. He's on his IR, but I think he's just out. So I think he's just on like fantasy IR.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Less concerning.
Okay. Yes. 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 So
No, this team is it's tough because like they're definitely good pieces. Like Diggs is good, Andrews is good. I typically would love Brees, but like for this year, I think that's tough. I like Godwin a lot, but this is like a team filled with guys who like just aren't going to get it done for you this year, other than Diggs and Andrews. I think.
yeah, I think it's tough sledding, which is
In other words, this team sucks.
That's a good summary, Andy.
so. Let's move on to the team. This is the team that traded away Christian McCaffrey. So realistically, they're starting Tua because they still have Dak put in place, but so they've got Dak, Dameon Pierce, DJ Chark, Jalen Waddle, Travis Kelce, and then here are all the pieces: Tua, Rashad White, T. Higgins, Debo. There's a
Team
lot.
sucks.
Yeah. It's better now. He's got Deshaun Watson, who's on bye and out. He's got, unfortunately, J.K.
And bad.
Dobbins.
He's bad.
He is bad.
Good to hold on to J.K. Dobbins.
Well,
It's
did you
great to
hear
hold on.
he's doing Achilles rehab with Aaron Rodgers? He'll be back in like 2 weeks.
I think this team is a lot better after the trade. I think it still has an uphill battle.
Yes. I don't know. Like who are his running backs? He's got Pierce.
He's got
It's
Pierce,
Pierce and Rashad White.
Pierce and Rashad White.
Yeah. See, I hate. I'm not. I think Rashad White is not very good. I don't know how good Sean Tucker is going to be this year either.
Sean Tucker's
They
ass.
both just they both just kind of looked like middle of the road, if not worse. And those receivers just make me kind of sad. I love Waddle.
Yeah.
Debo's been super up and down. He hasn't done at all what people were expecting him to. So I mean, you're hoping that they bounce back, but
Yeah.
there's plenty of season to go. But it's tough sledding. I think that guy could end up taking a few more losses if those pieces don't bounce back right away, and that could take him out of playoff contention.
Because he is 1-3, so
Yeah.
he's gonna have to start winning soon. So wish you the best of luck. Here is a team. They're 3-1. They have Justin Herbert on bye. They're held by Derrick Henry, Justin Herbert, Alexander Madison, Devontae Adams, Christian Kirk, Jordan Addison, Dawson Knox, Alvin Kamara is back. Brian Robinson.
Hey, we're going through every team in your little redraft league.
Well, I'm actually going through all the ones that Lippy is texting me. Ask them this. So, I think Lippy wants sound bites for certain teams.
Okay.
So we have
Andy's been paying attention very intently. In case that wasn't clear.
Yeah, I'm definitely not watching Clone Wars. Don't worry about it.
They have more points for than me, and they have 3 more wins. But I don't know. Lippy, what do you think about this squad? What do y'all think? What do y'all think?
This team just doesn't scare me. I mean, I'm not scared to see this team if you were to run up against it. Dawson Knox at tight end just makes me want to puke. Yeah, Addison and Madison every week. I mean, that doesn't get me going.
This
Henry,
team has like the team that eliminates you in the first round written all over it. You run into Derrick Henry, late season buzzsaw. Madison scores a touchdown. Addison catches a couple deep shots. Devontae goes off with an A dot of like, I don't know, something terrible, like sub 7.
I will say Derrick Henry's week 15 through 18 schedule is as follows: Houston, Seattle, Houston, Jacksonville.
I mean, that Seattle week 16 is the semis, and Seattle's good against the run.
Yeah, but going off Andy's analogy, though, he's already knocked you off at that point, and he probably will lose that round because it won't be the...
Sir. We only have semis and finals, so 16, 17. Semis.
Because we have the new schedule.
Mm-hmm.
We have
so week 16 is the semis, week 17 is finals.
Oh, week 15.
I guess that helps some.
Well, I don't know,
but I do think I think Andy's kind of right on that. It's one of those teams that if they make it there, because a lot of those guys are just going to put up what they put up, but they're also good to explode at any point and really just screw a team over in the playoffs.
Yeah, you could just have a monster Devontae game, a monster Henry game.
Yep.
Christian Kirk, after that week 1, it looks like he's getting all of the targets in Jacksonville. So
Ridley might suck.
I don't think Ridley sucks, but I think it was really quick to say, oh, it's his team. I think they're both going to be good and serviceable, and if Kirk has a big week, which he can, I don't know.
Flip is trying to bait me into a soundbite here. I won't do it. Fine, I'll do it. Ridley's going to fucking outperform Kirk this year by orders of magnitude.
Be specific, because that's not even a hot take, I don't think.
That sounds
like
2 tiers. 2 tiers. So if Ridley's a wide receiver 1, Kirk will be no better than a wide receiver 3. If Ridley's a wide receiver 2, Kirk will be no better than a 4, etc.
Wow. That's the soundbite I was looking for.
Wow.
This is coming from the same man who predicted in the offseason, despite my hatred for him, that Devin Achane would outscore Sam Laporta in half PPR. And yes, I'm taking a victory lap on that already.
In week 4.
So, Kyle, if you're listening, I've got a bucket of ice water ready for your head. I'm shipping it straight to Vegas. I'm going to meet there. I'm just going to fucking just concuss the shit out of you.
Let's look at this dynasty roster. Curious what you'll think about this team. It's helped by Lamar Jackson and running backs.
I don't want to. I don't know.
This is a pretty shit team.
I don't know.
Wow.
That's so weird that we just randomly chose this one roster at random to really pick apart. I don't know how we arrived here. I'll tell you what, though. This person probably isn't worried about his quarterback situation at all. I don't know whose team this is, but he probably couldn't care less about that. Having said that, if someone did want to trade him a starter, he would probably take it. No, this team makes me so angry it hurts. Out of all the fantasy teams I have, this one annoys the shit out of me more than any of the other ones.
It's been a tough year to have Chase and Higgins on the same roster, that's for sure.
It's not the best. It's not the best. I'll acknowledge that. It's not great hitching your wagon to Aaron Rodgers being as old as he is and as weird as he is. I don't love that.
Yeah.
Do I wish I still had the first round picks that I traded away for Higgins? Sure. But, that's in the past.
That's in the past.
Except for the fact that those picks are actually in the future.
And Andy, I have a question. In Dynasty, would you prefer Roshan, Achan, and Carr, or Higgins and Rogers?
Roshan Etienne Carr, no question.
Wow.
I just know before I even click into the fantasy app what trade I've got waiting on
why
me at
didn't
that.
Tate accept that 5 days ago? Is the real question here. Wow.
What?
Wow. Why didn't Tate accept that 5 days ago?
It was Rogers and who else?
Rogers and Higgins for Achan, Roshan, and Carr.
Whoa. I didn't quite think about the Higgins name. I just heard Roshan.
Carr, Roshan,
That's
and
tough.
Achan for Rogers and Higgins.
That's tough. Tate, why don't you go ahead and explain why you didn't accept that?
That's a really
I'd love
interesting
to
trade.
explain.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting trade.
It would have gotten a quarterback and Achan and Roshan.
That is quite literally the pieces. Yes, thank you for laying that out like that, Whippy. That's the analysis people come here for. No, it really was in large part due to the fact that Whippy did that while I was at work, and I didn't even. I was like, I'll look at that wager, and I absolutely forgot about it. But I still don't know that I would do it, if only for the fact that I kind of. It's sad to say, I kind of need Higgins. But I mean, it's not like the offers that Lippy usually sends me, where I'm insulted and I have to talk to my therapist about it. So like, it's not, it's not terrible. But
I mean, it's just bold of you to say that you need Higgins when you have Chase, Adams, Keenan, and Tank Dell.
And
yeah, I mean,
key.
I was going to say
there.
that's really the part. I hadn't considered it with lumping Tank in there. That really does, give me an embarrassment of riches at that position. But no, I think it was also, I didn't love the idea of. I just know sometimes I won't do a trade because I know I have shit luck, and Carr being the quarterback I would get while he's nursing a shoulder injury, I felt like the minute I made that trade, it's like, oh, Saints put Derek Carr on season-ending IR because of the shoulder thing. So they've actually shut him down. He's not going to play ever again. So that definitely played a factor into it.
Dude, Tate, that's a good deal, man.
I would not do it now, for the record.
Oh, you wouldn't?
Wait. Come on.
I don't think I would offer
come on
that
now.
anymore.
Come on. Because we're doing a pod, it has to be available now. That's only fair.
That's how pods work.
Come on.
Wow.
Come on. Send him the trade, and he has to turn it down or accept it on air. As soon as we're done podding, it goes away.
Wow. I mean, I don't see any arguments in that logic.
Those are the rules, unfortunately. I wish I mean, I've tried to ask about them many times, Lippy, but those are the rules.
I'll add
This could be them putting on a show to scheme you out of Higgins.
I would go back. Oh, I mean, it almost certainly is. If I had the time to go back and see the trades that were offered live on the pod that weren't accepted, I would.
I mean, we almost
because I feel like it. Yeah, almost.
Oh, you're allowed to reject it on the pod.
Yeah.
You just can't.
You're allowed to reject it, but basically it just flicks over whoever has the idea. It's sent. It's in Tate's inbox. Wow.
Oh,
it is. I see it right here.
Lippy would receive Rogers, who is at least 48 years old.
That is true. I checked his age. He's that old.
T. Higgins, who has 7 ribs left. For Derek.
Almost out of the league.
Derek almost had an MVP season, if not for J.J. Watt Carr.
That's on his jersey.
The fastest man alive, Devon Achane. And Roshan Johnson, perhaps the most interesting rookie running back not named Gibbs or Bijan Robinson.
or
Victim
HN,
porta
who
potty
is the
chair.
fastest. Yeah.
Wow.
Tate, I'm just gonna put it out there that you're getting 2 rookie running back contracts plus a super guaranteed 4-year quarterback contract.
Not to mention, Tate does
Yeah,
not
I
have a
can't do it.
first.
No, he's right. This is too good of a trade for Tate.
To,
Too good of a trade for Tate.
Tate
We
does-
took it back.
Was that my perspective on it? It was too good of a trade for me.
It was too good. I rejected it for Tate right there. That's too good of a trade for Tate.
Wow.
I
Andy's
was
right.
going to accept it, actually.
Andy's right.
Well, I'm
Wow.
happy Tate does not get that trade because I think I have Tate's picks until 2026. No, I don't.
Nah, Andy's
Well,
right. 2 rookie running back contracts. Tate's right.
Who has the 20?
Or Andy's right.
I do.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're getting Tate and Andy mixed up now.
No,
But,
I have both of your picks. Yeah. Good.
yeah. Yeah, because you got him from Lippy, I think.
Yeah,
Because Lippy's the one who gave me
and
T.
I have Eagles 2025. Wow. Great stuff. All right.
You got my
Andy
2025 first?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that was part of the Ridley.
5 or 4.
Yeah, I've got 4 firsts in 2025. That's a big
All
deal
of
for
ours.
me.
It's the entire pod
That's
right
got
now.
a shot of
Pretty good.
being.
Yeah.
That's got a shot of being number 11 overall.
Look,
Oh, man.
all I'm seeing is
You
right
could-
now is this is CBiz's world and we're all living in it, and for everyone else is competing for second.
T-Biz.
Yes, sir. That's our points leader. Please show some respect. 602
I
points.
will do nothing of the sort. It's easy to be a points leader when certain persons are so flush with cash they've got Anthony Richardson on the taxi.
I mean,
That goes
our
into
points
your
leader
point,
is starting
doesn't
Pickett
it?
and Howell.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. This team deserves some respect. It's doing.
It deserves respect with Kenny Pickett.
He doesn't need quarterbacks. He doesn't need.
He's starting Robert Woods.
Hey,
Darren Waller.
That's a part of an up and coming offense. Robert Woods is Mr.
Sam
Third Down.
Howell. What are these quarterbacks? I was joking at first, but now I am angry. I refuse to be compared to this team. This is a train wreck.
No, it is. First of all,
are we talking about a different CBiz?
No, I think this is a solid team. Obviously, the quarterback play is not exactly where you want it to be.
Did you look past Christian McCaffrey, or did you just see that first name and say it's
he has
great?
CMC. Mostert's going to be very good. Tyreek's going to be good. DK's going to be good. Look, I know this is a little troll. I think throwing Robert Woods into WR3 is okay. He's getting like every third down look, so I mean that's something. Kyron's legit. Kyron Williams is a legit player. That enough said. Easy. James Conner. It sounds like you're kind of a James Conner hater, so
he hates James Conner.
Yeah. So, I mean,
yeah, because I've got eyes mostly is the reason.
Not only that, he also very cheaply acquired recently Wan'Dale Robinson, which was quite a conversation piece in the chat. So, I mean, what a deal there. I mean, a 4th rounder and I think 8 fab. So, what a great trade.
Those are the championship moves. That's what wins it for you.
That's right. But, interesting.
This is the worst team I've ever seen in my life.
No, that's this team. That's this team. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone tank this hard. Yikes. But luckily we've got lots of drafting to do. So Curn is chanting for a pod trade. No, he's
it's not even worth discussing on the pod. As the person who got it sent to them.
What does that mean?
He offered me Traylon Burke and a 2025 first. I'm assuming it's his for Keenan Allen and Devontae. So
that's interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah?
Jalen sucks, but the first could
Right.
be good.
Oh, yeah, sure. First could be good. Could even be somebody as good as Devontae. That'd be awesome.
Kurt.
Except
Well,
7 years younger.
would it change
Maybe
your
even 8
mind?
years younger.
Would it change your mind? Curran says you need to take this, Tate. Does that
That
sway
is
you at all?
that is interesting because Lippy never said that I needed to take hits.
Yeah. Well, Curran says you need to take this, and not only that, he says it's good stuff.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
once again, Lippy didn't even say his was good stuff.
Well, Curran is
So
a
this
perennial
is
salesman, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. If I wanted to get like markedly worse at the receiver position for like the rest of my life,
Right.
that would make it a super interesting deal.
So what was the trade
I'd really
again?
be thinking
What was
hard
the trade
about it.
again?
That'd be Keenan Allen and Devontae Adams would be leaving my team, and I would have the honor of replacing them with Traylon Burks and someone who's basically in middle school now, 2025 first. It's really hard to pass on.
Huh. Yeah. Well, there's no way you actually like that trade, right?
What trade?
The garbage that Curran just sent Tate.
I think that basically answers it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, Traylon sucks.
Yeah.
He's bad, and he's the best piece of that trade.
Real quick, I'm gonna let everybody go. Lippy just had to dash for work, I believe. But real quick, let me ask you guys, because I love doing this kind of as the season goes on. What are y'all thinking Super Bowl predictions? I'd love to hear what y'all's fingers on the pulse. What y'all are predicting. I'll go ahead and just put mine out there. It's very boring. It's very vanilla. I'm going to go Chiefs and 49ers and 49ers winning. No, it's not Texans. I was real spicy last year and picked the Raiders, but no, I'm doing 49ers and Chiefs and 49ers winning.
49ers Chiefs, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm going to go, mine's kind of chalky too. I'm going to go 49ers and Bills.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Anything caliente over there, Mr. Waters?
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
Eagles versus Titans.
Big.
Why not? Eagles, Titans.
Wow. I feel like if that were to happen, there's probably some money to be made on that prediction. So good luck with that.
Listen, if it so happens to be the Colts versus the Falcons, Andy will be a very rich man.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got like the odds. You ever placed a bet with a sports book that required them to send it to their oversight team?
Oh my goodness.
Let alone such a bet on the NFL in the middle of June.
Oh, well, gentlemen, before we end here, any last remarks you'd like to make to anyone in particular, or any claims or flags you'd like to plant before we go?
All I'll say is if Lippy adds Jalen Hyatt to that deal, I'll take it.
Wow. Well,
I'll just continue to plant the Anthony Richardson flag.
Yeah. You've earned that.
And I'll go ahead and pat myself on the back not only for that, but pretty sure I was dead ass on the money about Stroud and Bryce too. I don't think I definitely see Bryce as being good eventually, but I think I predicted him having a pretty terrible rookie season statistically.
I believe that's correct.
And
I remember you doing that. Yeah.
You were probably the only person who said that too. That's pretty impressive. No one would have foreseen that the Panthers, as currently constructed, weren't going to be good.
Hey, Tate, why don't you go ahead and show me the pods where you said that Stroud was going to be really good, Bryce was going to be really bad, and also Anthony Richardson was going to be electric, and basically all the other things that happened.
If you think I'm
If
going to
everybody was
listen
saying
to
it, if
my
everybody was
voice on
saying
the
it,
pod,
why don't you
you're
go ahead
crazy.
and show me where you said it?
I didn't say I said it.
Oh, okay.
You'll notice.
Okay. That's interesting. That's just interesting. It was so easy to say. It's interesting.
Do you
Also,
think it's
Achan
interesting?
sucks. Wait, what?
I said, do you think it's interesting?
No, I don't. I don't think Achan sucks. I just think he's really, really small. Makes me nervous.
He's a small guy. It's going to be interesting to see how he holds up over a whole season. But I do think that'll do it for us.